Okay, we should be online, I think. Let me just double check for a second here. I always have to double check just to make sure, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So let me go here and in my videos, put it live. Actually, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That's great. No, it looks like everything's good. 1 second. Everything's good. Yep, we're good. We are live. Everything looks centered right because I'm using window capture, not display capture. But everything looks good. All right, so this is going to be. Oh, it's already dropping frames. Oh, that's great. I just love that. I guess it's gonna be one of those nights. Stream health, stream analytics. I don't know. I don't know if my internet just sucks or what, to be honest. But yeah. So this is gonna be part 2 of me finally going over the darksydephil side scrollers interview. I guess that just became kind of relevant again because Phil can't shut the fuck up and keeps bringing them up. And of course, they're going to rebuttal every time he brings them up. So that's always going to happen. So, yeah. So I never finished going over this. So that is what I am here to accomplish today. Maybe we can actually even finish this. But I doubt it because we still have 3 hours left of this. We still have 3 hours left. I don't know if I can actually finish it, but we're going to give it a solid attempt here to finish that. So, let's continue. And I'm pretty sure this is right where I left off last time. Obviously, I haven't watched it since. And it saved my spot. I went back like 1 minute just to make sure I don't like miss anything. Going from my past stream to the other stream. I will have my the part 1 linked in the description below. And all that. So
something happens that screws my income again. Well, wait, here we go. I worked my ass off. I changed who I am. I'm a different kind of content creator. All the things that they had issue with me. This is why they do it to me right there. We don't like Phil for this. Okay, I'll change all of that. Nope, still do it anyway. Ruin his income.
So why change? Why change? What's the point? It's not doing anything. Why wouldn't you just stay the person that you were and that you are or whatever, instead of like trying to like adhere to people on the internet? Because the people on the internet are gonna hate. The haters are gonna hate. Like, who fucking cares? So what's the point? You're doing it for nothing.
I agree. I understand what you're saying. At the same time, I feel like that a lot of the changes have been very productive. I like I said, now I love what I do for a living.
I like what I'm doing.
I actually genuinely want to be here every day with my audience. It's fun. I wake up in the morning energized.
No, it's not. We all know you don't actually like doing this.
That was
you wish you could go back to making videos and being drunk all the time and not having to interact. We know what's going on. Shut up.
I hear you. But yeah, if I were to quit YouTube, let's say right now, cold turkey, I quit YouTube.
Right now.
I can't find a job out there that's going to pay what I'm doing.
I mean,
you know, in addition to that, there's always the factor that I've been out of the job market for a decade.
Yeah.
Who's going to hire a 40-year-old guy that hasn't done anything besides,
no one with that attitude.
Nobody with that attitude.
Thank you. You know, it's bad that I know most of this, how this goes already, because I've already seen
not even
like 500 different people watching this.
You're putting yourself in this hamster wheel that Craig was mentioning earlier. It's just like there's no option. This is it. So I have to grind. I have to do this. And like that sounds miserable to me. Even though you say you're having fun, it seems like you're just trying to convince yourself.
On level 1.
Instead of,
actually,
it is. It might be true. It might be true, but these two things could be true also. I'm just pointing that out, what I'm seeing.
And I just like to kind of continue on with that, right? The idea of like, do you have a business plan? Do you have
No.
what it looks like in what your business looks like in a month from now? Do you have a business
Well,
plan
like,
for
I
a year
honestly
from now?
can't see DSP
You have a
actually
tax guy who runs your
actually
numbers,
doing
but
a real
are you
job and
are you
actually
saving
working.
money? Because it doesn't sound like you are.
Too stubborn
Because
and narcissistic to take orders
just based off
from
what you're
anyone.
saying, and it
Mhm.
very
like,
much
it
sounds
wouldn't
like
work.
you're going to be doing this when you're 60.
Oh yeah,
right?
he
And
is until he
if,
dies.
you know,
He'll
and if
die
you want to
on
be doing it
stream for
when you're
sure.
60, that's fine. But
That's fine.
this doesn't
but-
seem very forward thinking. You know, when you seem like you're living day to day as opposed to thinking about long term. And you know, dude, you're
I'm just
40
gonna
years
nod
old, and
my
at a certain
head
point, you got to look
and
at
not
things and say,
listen to
like,
anything you're
well,
saying.
do I want to be doing that? Like, will I ever have enough money to retire? Will I ever have enough money to not do this? You know, so walk me through that. Walk us through that. The idea of
Waka
do you?
waka.
I mean, and it's okay to say you don't have a business plan. It's okay. It's like we're putting it all on the table here, Phil. And if you don't, that's fine. Just kind of walk me through it, man.
Currently, do I have a business plan? No. Have I had business plans in
Big
the past?
shocker.
Yes. And every single one of them has been destroyed by my income being ruined over and over. You know, to have a plan, a long-term plan, you have to know at least what the stability is going to be today and depend on a little bit of that stability. And it sucks. Like Adam said, YouTube, Twitch, any kind of online content creation is a constantly fluctuating thing. Tomorrow, everything could be turned off for all of us. We can't even stream, right? It could be a new law that says we can't do it anymore. In which case, then I guess I am
anti-streaming
wrong, and I
law.
gotta go
You're not
out there and
allowed
get
to
a-
stream at all here.
right? But
Sir.
how can I lay out a business plan when every month is different? When it looks like there's consistency to my life. Oh, here's what I'm making every month. That's exactly what was happening in 2021. There was a series of months, like the first 3 months and 4 months of the year. Things were going great. I had a business plan. Here's what I want to do. Let's do this for a certain amount of years. Let's expand. Let's improve the setup. Let's try new things. Let's do this. And then if it keeps going, you get to the next stage of the business plan, right? And what happens? I lose my partnership, identity theft, income's destroyed.
It's everyone
Now what
else's
do I do?
fault but his
Plan's
own,
gone.
of course.
So how can I set a plan?
Not
when
like
these
he
people won't
acted
allow me
incorrectly or
to
had
even
hateful
have
slurs or
any
anything
level of
going on.
stability
No,
in my
no,
life, even
no.
a few months.
You know what
because
you
of the
do?
Stuff that they're doing.
You make another business plan.
You pull
You move
yourself
forward.
up from your bootstraps
what
and
you
you
do.
try again.
Like any, I mean, I don't.
What choice do you have?
Right.
The only choice is to make a new one and continue moving forward.
I
Right,
agree.
like-
I will not be beaten by these people.
Oh,
It's
yes,
not-
of
it's-
course.
what you
Well-
just said sounded like you were.
Oh
Like,
no,
you have been
absolutely
over and
not.
over again.
One of the
I'm
major
letting you
things-
know. I'm letting you know what you what you had just finished with.
Mhm.
You know, I had a business. He asked what your business plan is. He was like, I had a business plan, but they kept shitting all over it. Like that was your response instead of this is my business plan, right? You don't have a future vision. I think that's what
Oh,
Craig
I
was
do.
going
Okay,
for.
okay. I spoke. I do have a future vision. The problem is, if I fully explain it, they're going to try to ruin it. You understand?
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
I should have said that. I'm sorry about that. Like, do I have an idea of what I'd like to do? Yes. I know exactly. Actually, I have steps in place to know exactly what I can do to try to fix my situation.
Handled
I don't
by
want- listen,
Sounds
top
good.
I don't want to
men.
be here on stream every day saying to people, toss me a few bucks. Oh my
Oh,
God, that's the
bullshit.
worst feeling every time I effing
You
do it.
love it.
I don't want to say, hey, tip me, do this, do that. That's obnoxious. I just want to play games and chill with my audience.
Uh-huh.
And this is the funny part that my detractors will never mention.
I love it.
Before my income kept getting screwed over all these different times by them and by my choices. It's not just them, it's also my bad choices that did this. I never had any kind of crowdfunding. It was always just Phil's
See,
making
what
a
was
living
that,
on
Phil?
YouTube
Huh?
via ad revenue. I had no
Hold on a
sponsors.
second.
Phil's making a living did this. Times by them and by my choices. It's
By
not just
them
it's
and
also
by
my
me.
bad
It
choices
wasn't
that did this.
just us.
I never had
It was him.
any kind of
Actually, it was
crowdfunding.
all
It was
him.
always just Phil's
but
making a living on YouTube via ad
at least he
revenue.
admitted
I
that it
had
was him
no
somewhat.
sponsors.
But I mean, most of
didn't
it
take
is him.
any
Anyway.
money, extra money from anywhere. I wasn't asking my fans for crowdfunding. Everyone else was. I
That's a
wasn't
lie.
doing it. It
Even
wasn't
day
until
one,
the
you were
revenue
still
started to get
begging
hurt
for
by
money.
that I decided to do crowdfunding because everyone told me to do it. Right now, my income's ruined over and over by these people. And what's their number one critique?
Oh,
of me?
yes.
You
It's
beg too much.
all our
I
fault.
wouldn't
We
beg
know. Blah, blah,
if you
blah.
didn't keep messing with my income.
That's
I
a
the only
lie.
reason I have to
That's
do it
weird.
is keep ruining my financial income. You keep ruining it for me. So
Beg-
how can I
begging-
have? Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Phil. Begging for money is never a good look for anyone.
Completely
anyone.
agree. Completely agree. I can't. I can't
So
dispute
get
it.
a real job
Well,
and shut the fuck up.
Okay, then look, we all established, look, the idea of like going on stream and saying, I really need help for these taxes. I really need help for whatever. I got a big thing coming up. Trav, can you please kill it with the chats, please? The biggest thing, and people asking, is this live? Yes, this is live.
Travis,
right?
you
Of
piece
course
of
it's
shit.
live.
Fuck Travis, seriously.
You had an opportunity with
I watched
Keemstar
the whole debate.
and Drama Alert to
So,
go on
hold on a
there
second.
for a
So I did watch, like, big ups to, like, King Sly. Like, go check out his channel, because, like, he had a debate with Travis, and Travis is on his way to becoming his own fucking lolcow. I'm just gonna say that, because Travis is a piece of shit who just, like, won't stand up for himself or his own community that he supposedly is in. And I hate to fucking side with Rich or Retech USA, but he was kind of right.
it was $50,000 was being offered to you to go on this podcast, right? $50K.
$50,000.
Why not do that? Like that's a giant amount of money. And yes, there's taxes attached to that. It's after it's all said and done, it's probably $30K, right? But why not just say, okay, I'll take your money and I'll spend a couple hours on your podcast, and that would clear up so much of your financial burden.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Keemstar story. Here
I'm
we
an
go.
idiot.
Well, no, just answer that question. I don't want to hear the story. I just want to know, like, why would you not take $50K?
Because that's not what happened. You've been told a story that's not true. I have to tell you what actually happened.
Please.
So there's a history with Keemstar where, over the years, this guy has a horrible reputation on YouTube. Everyone knows it. I'm not going to crap on the guy here, but just go look on YouTube. You'll find out all about him and the things he said and did to people.
Same thing could be said about you, idiot.
I've had a little bit of history with him. Little bit.
Us Detractor, you Google or you search on YouTube for darksydephil, you're going to get all Detractor videos.
Times tweets and things like that. What it is people will ask me something on a stream. What do you think of Keemstar? And I'll be like,
God damn it. I'm going to be pausing this a lot, aren't I? Like, so this whole fucking interview, like, the argument that he uses against Keemstar could, like, so easily fucking can be conveyed against him himself, right? Like, we all know this. They know this. They called him out on this multiple fucking times. He just doesn't seem to fucking understand that he's being a huge fucking hypocrite right now, and all the arguments against Keemstar that he poses on here could easily be used against him. But he wants all these second chances here. Just give me another chance. Just leave me alone for a whole year. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, the same shit could be applied could be applied to you, you idiot. It's like massive projection. And he just doesn't fucking get it. And on top of that, like, you're going to turn down $50,000. So you must not be in as bad of a fucking, as bad of a, money status, financial situation as you claim to be when you're begging for fucking money all the time, huh, Phil?
It's not just Keemstar, it's a lot of guys. I don't like these drama YouTubers. I call them misery brokers.
But you are a drama.
If you have a bad day, they're having a good one.
He is a drama YouTuber, dumbass.
What kind of content?
I just want to chill.
Not to me.
No matter how many times you say I want to chill, that isn't what you're doing, though. You're stirring up all this drama.
Definitely one of those people in my eyes. You can disagree. That's okay. That's what I think of the guy. Okay. So I said this one day casually. He starts insulting me and everything on the internet. So we have a little bit of bad blood.
Because you provoked him by shit talking him.
All of a sudden, it was last year. Okay. Unbeknownst to me, people start telling me, Phil, Keemstar is trying to contact you. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I have a public, Craig knows. Craig emailed me. I have a public email. If you want to talk to me, contact me. Let's talk. Let's figure out, it's a business relationship. No email, nothing. Okay. He's sitting on his Twitter and he's making public
Twitter.
Someone
he's
tells
sitting on his
I want to talk to him right now. Contact him. Tell him I need to talk to him. There's $50,000 on
social
the table.
media.
He needs to contact me right now. First of all, is that how you start a business relationship? Is you scream on your Twitter to have someone come talk to you? If he has something to offer me, should he not contact me? So I only know about this because people come to my stream to tell me about it. Okay.
So to answer your question, I think that in a traditional environment, no, that's not how you start a relationship. When you deal in the space that Keemstar does and kind of the drama, like look at me space, yes, that is how you would start it. Because you throw out $50,000 on Twitter, people go, whoa, I want to get this attached. So Is traditionally no, but we're not dealing with Coca-Cola. We're dealing with Keemstar, right? And that's what he does
he's
for
not
a
like
living.
a major
So he wants to
corporation,
put eyes
Phil.
on his product and drive
Mhm.
interest. So I would say, yeah, he did do it the right way in his world, in his interest.
It's the same thing as the people making a this is how you don't play a video game. It's the same shit. They're using your, I don't know, for lack of a better word, clout to make content, and it works.
Well, they're
So
punching
Keem
down
did it,
on me,
and you know
man.
you're doing that same thing. You're bitter that he's not approaching you respectfully. You know, if he actually wants to get you on his stream or whatnot, he maybe should have reached out to you. But you know, he's basically using you. It's like the right thing would be is to use him back,
right?
Instead
And
of getting all upset.
Right. And if there's 50 grand on the table, what better way? There's no way he's going to make 50 grand back off an interview with you. Like, why don't just take it, cash the check, and then you're golden?
Because then he can't beg. If he
Or
got
even if
$50,000,
it's
he would
10
have to
grand, even if it's
explain where all that
$5,000,
money went.
even if it's
And he
$1,000,
can't
like,
beg every day. Like
why not
he
just be
likes
like, yeah,
to.
I'll take it. Sure.
Okay, let's continue because this isn't what happened. Actually.
Oh, okay.
Please.
No, I got
It wasn't an interview.
So
Let me continue.
explain that part.
Oh, I got to keep explaining. Oh, you want to answer to that? Well, let me tell you about this other story that happened. Oh, you want to answer that one? Well, I got to first explain this and this and this to try to confuse you and tell you so many stories you just give up and believe everything I say because I don't actually have a real answer for it other than
I just want to know about
greed.
that. Like you said, that's not what happened. So what did happen?
Correct. So eventually, I had to DM him on Twitter to even get his attention because he wouldn't contact me. You know, I learned it from drama on my stream. Everyone's drawn up drama on my stream. Keem wants to talk to you.
Didn't you
So I
have him
DM
blocked?
And he's like, call me right now. I was like, I can't. You know, just tell me, what is this about? You know, I'm streaming. I'm busy. Just let me know what this is about. So I'm serious. I had to go back and forth with this guy so many times for him to just tell me
So many
in a
times.
DM. What I'm interested in is I want to do a show with you. I want you to host a show. This was not an interview for 2 hours. This was some kind of like a big project he wanted to be involved in. I don't know exactly what. Let me explain. So he says, but I don't want to talk about it in a DM. We got to have a phone call. I'm like, okay, that's reasonable, right? Let's have a phone call. Here's my number. Here's when to call me. I'm available at these times of the day. Okay. I wait. The call never comes. It's been like 2 days. The call never comes. Maybe he's not serious about it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in this guy's head. All of a sudden, I'm on streams. He starts calling me when I'm on streams. I'm like, is he? I don't know what's going on again. So I DM him after the fact. I'm like, hey, you want to? So basically, it's like stupid telephone phone tag. The guy won't.
And we
even
all know how
contact
much
me
he
to talk
hates
about what he wants to
actually
offer me
answering the phone call or being on
when
the
I'm
phone.
available.
He hates
Right?
that.
So at that point, I'm like, let me figure out.
Just to remind you guys that when he was trying to sell his old condo, what is it? The I want to say broker. It's not the broker. It's the fuck. What's the right word? The person he hired to sell his condo for him had some things that he wanted Phil to verify. So he was trying to call Phil, and Phil refused to answer the phone. Refused to talk to this guy on the phone. He's like, no, just email me. I'm like, no, you got to call me. We got to go over some of this shit. And Phil outright fucking refused to do this. And eventually, the guy just gave up and is like, no, I'm not going to sell you shit if you're not going to even contact me and get, keep in contact with me so we can go over this so I can actually sell this property for you, you dumb shit. No. So he refused to do that. And then he ended up paying for it, and that's why he had to pay for his condo for so long after the fact, because he refused to, in order to sell his own goddamn condo, he refused to fucking pick up the phone. So he's not going to pick up the phone for Keem.
What this is, and I talked to my wife about it, and we sat down. I was like, sounds to me like he wants me involved.
Oh, I sat down with my wife.
And my wife says, you know about him, right?
She was probably playing fucking Skyrim or again for the 25th time.
And we talked about it seriously, and we're like, right now, $50,000, if this was real, would be
which it probably was
for us. It would put us, back, jump ahead, almost square one, I would say, with all the things that are going on financially behind the scenes. And when at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. You got to do what's best for the business. You got to do what's best for everything. Everyone's good interest. And if this were someone who I felt had my best interest in mind or possibly was not.
You
had
would
the
have been
history
too
that he has, I
scared to
probably wouldn't have
interact
done
with
it,
other people
you know?
other than just
But
yourself
this is
and
a
your
guy who has a
viewers.
history of
He would
online.
never have done this.
He
Even
gets
if
you
it was
involved in
someone
something,
else, he
and
wouldn't
then
have done
everything
this.
he does is for
He'd be
his
too
own
afraid of
personal
being
gain, and it
outshined by
doesn't
other
matter
people.
how much he hurts you, as long as he's still benefiting from it. Okay, there was no offer to me of being on an interview for $50,000. That's a lie. All right?
So what? Okay, and I'm just for if it sounds like there's miscommunication here,
Yes.
right? If we were to get Keemstar on the show right now and kind of walk through this, because I'm very intrigued by this, right? I want to know more about this project. Would you be open to that?
Absolutely not. Not after all the stuff that happened after that.
Okay, so you would not be open to talking to him right now.
I'm never going to do business with Keemstar. Not after the things I now know about him and the other things that he said and done. Absolutely not.
Okay. Then I'll delete my tweet that I was about to send asking Keemstar to come on the show. I didn't send a tweet out, just so you know. I was going to.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. You could say it's a difference between short-term gain and long view, right? I feel like having any association with that guy in the long term is just going to hurt rather than help. I feel like it's going to be even more trolls.
Because he'll call me out on his bullshit.
Than I already have, because I've seen documentaries on this guy. It's factual evidence.
Yeah, and we've
that
seen
he
documentaries on you.
creates
I don't want to
this
worry
whole
about.
thing.
I don't want to talk about Keemstar.
Yeah, but
I want to say you should use that mentality towards money. It seems like, you're holding him on that, but instead in your own world, I'm just saying it's just going to help you out. I feel weird because it feels like I'm like lecturing you, but I'm just like, I'm the type of person. My friends called me an honest asshole, and I'm cool with it. Like, I don't mind.
No,
I'm
Adam, you're
blunt.
still kind of
I'm
just a normal
freaking
asshole.
vicious sometimes, and it just seems, you're being really raw here, and honestly, props to that. So
yeah, major props for sure.
this is who
I'll
I am.
kiss
So
his
I
ass
just,
some more, Jesus.
just feels
Dude,
like
No,
you
I
should
take
do
no
that.
offense from anything, and I appreciate.
Okay, yeah,
I
no.
really do. Having conversations.
I take
like this
no
can only
offense
help.
to anything.
Well, so
We'll
how
see
do you
long
square the
that
idea
lasted,
of not
even a whole
taking
day, not even a
Keemstar's
whole
money,
24
but
hours.
taking it from your
He was
audience,
bitching about
who
them.
you may not know? Maybe they're slinging crack. Maybe your audience, you don't know where that money's coming from, right? They may be getting it morally in a
Or the fact that he willingly takes all this money from people who are like literally homeless. Some of them, he's literally, how many lives has Phil ruined by like taking money from people who like needed that money? They were like living out of their fucking car, and he's still willingly accepts some money and doesn't question anything about it, huh? No. What was that guy's name? Like Rob on Wheels, and I think there was like another one. He was like literally went bankrupt like 3 times, but he still takes their money.
in
Fine.
a way that you may not agree with morally. How do you square yourself with that? Maybe that I think everybody, if you have a sizable audience online, you deal with people who are favorable people, and you also have some unfavorable people in your audience, right? And they may get money from other ways. So how do you square that in your brain with Keemstar versus unknown money?
I don't equate the two. Like, Keemstar money is, I'm taking money for a direct project that apparently is going to be a long-term business relationship with this guy. I'm associating myself with a guy who I don't respect, don't like the content he puts on the internet, versus people who watch me, like who I am, like what I stand for, want to support that effort to keep it going. My crowdfunders are the people who allow me to do this for a living 15 years later. I'm a small-time guy, but I can still make a living doing it while others of my size can't, because of the amount of support that I get, and I appreciate that so
And you only
much.
get that much
know
support because
from
you're constantly
every day.
begging
Thank
and
you so
lying
much
to
for
your
allowing
audience,
me to
though,
tell you
Phil.
what I feel is meaningful for you guys, and what you tell me is meaningful every day. But here's the thing, and this is an interesting point. As someone who's crowdfunded, mostly, it's mostly income coming in from streams, ad revenue from people watching ads, all of that. This is a question for you guys too, I guess. This is interesting.
Oh, that voice crack.
Or can you be held accountable for your viewership? Correct? Like, for example, right now, the G2s. I would hope that they're all upstanding individuals, right? You always want that, but you don't know what they're all doing, right?
Sure.
Do you micromanage your G2s and say, well, there's someone who's nice on my stream and they come by every day, and I just found out, I went to their Twitter to find out that they're a horrible person. They say racist things on their Twitter all the time.
Oh, I
If
see.
someone came to you and said that, would you say, oh, I got to ban them from my community now because they say things on their own personal Twitter?
Yes,
it's
I
censorship.
would.
I don't
Yeah,
believe
that's
it.
censorship, and I don't agree with that either. But I do think that it starts and stops with expectations, right?
I'm sorry if I'm not very popular. Obviously, I don't really have a whole lot of people watching live right now. Whatever. Big ups to anyone who is watching live right now, or anything like that. But like, oh, I actually have I think 3 people on, which is nice. Hey, hi everyone. But anyway, like if I find out like a regular that's on every single stream of mine, every single video of mine, huge fan of mine, right? And I find out they're actually like a Nazi or something, like like really bad, like super Nazi or anti-LGBT or something, like very very bad, like, and they were like preaching hate speech and all this crazy stuff, all that. Like, I'm probably not gonna allow them to communicate in my chat. Like, they could still watch my content. I wouldn't outright ban them, but like if they were bringing that shit in here in the chat or something like that, or even then, it's like that's kind of iffy. Like
Your expectations,
I don't
and
want,
it starts with,
like, if you're a
with
Nazi, you
leadership,
don't
right?
deserve
Whether you like
to
it or not, I think that you are the leader of
speak
your
your
community.
piece
You are
in
the
the
people that
chat.
everyone looks to on how somebody should act, how somebody should
I don't know.
interact with other people in your chat.
I
How
don't
you are the flag bearer of how what the community should be like, right? So I think ultimately your community emulates the host, and
That being said, I do say I absolutely understand not wanting to go into business with someone that you don't respect.
Yes.
I personally know many different people that are very successful that I don't respect, and I'm like, couldn't be happier not working with them. Right?
Exactly.
I mean,
That is exactly
real
my
ones, no.
mentality there with King.
Yeah, I mean, I
Absolutely.
get that.
So let's kind of let's kind of dig into this a little bit, right? So where's the line, right? When you have, let's just say you have a community member that you know via their Twitter, let's just say they are selling coke, right? They're selling illegal drugs, whatever. Don't
Then
you
they
want to be
better
like,
share that shit with
hey
me.
man, like I'm not into that. Like, there's visual evidence of them doing something bad,
Derek.
or at least alluding
Derek.
to something negative, something that would be
Derek.
shunned in a normal society, right? But you know they're a part of your community.
Derek.
You know, and once again, they're coming into their community potentially,
And he knows who they're talking about. He fucking
potentially
knows. Look at
leading
his
that into the
face.
community.
He
I don't
knows
think you censor them,
exactly
but maybe have a
who
conversation
they're talking
about
about. Come on, Phil.
I agree.
I agree. Dude,
It's
I
a
don't
line
know.
of, is it influencing you and your content and your community or not? So I think we're going towards a certain topic. I don't know if there's a particular person you may be referencing, Craig.
I'm not going to reference any specific community members. That's not what this is not about. This is not about, you know, specific community members. We're here to talk to you.
Okay.
I want to actually address something real quick. So Keem actually just tweeted and responded to what you just said, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. I'm going to read his tweet. Keem, he said, DSP is lying in this live interview. I called Phil at the agreed times, and he ignored my calls and claimed later he was at work. He ignored my calls for $50K up front for the lolcow podcast to stream to under 200 live viewers, begging for them to pay his rent and his utility bills. Both Wings and Boogie agreed to lolcow podcast. The only reason it didn't happen was because of DSP. Thoughts? Response?
It's a blatant lie. He called me when I was on stream. I looked at my phone when I was on stream, wondering why I was getting a phone call. After the fact, I realized that was Keemstar calling me when I was on live streams. It's just blatantly false. I gave him the times. I said there was time frames between streams he could call. At one day, I actually sat here for an hour in my office after a stream waiting for him to call, and he never called.
Well, if it's not true, he's gonna post, you know, when you were streaming and the phone call, and if not, then, you know, it's pretty easily provable.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
he never. I'll tell you right now, to my knowledge, he never actually called me when during the times that we talked when he was available. To my knowledge, so that's all I can say. And then, you know, after the fact, here's the thing. I just wanted to have the conversation. As I told you guys, I personally have issues with the guy and the content he puts out. I do. So at the very least, knowing it's in my family's best interest to have the conversation.
Oh, my family's best interest now, huh? Okay.
At least.
My
find out,
family's best interest.
But he wouldn't even have the conversation. So if the conversation doesn't take place, of course I'm not gonna say. If you can't even have the call, how on earth could you ever enter a business relationship with someone for a big amount of money, for a big commitment of time, or whatever it was gonna be? You know, it just didn't make any sense to me at all. So that's why it never happened.
Okay.
And by the way, Boogie, I've talked with Boogie behind the scenes. He really wanted me to be on the show, but I told him personally, I can't do it, man. I can't do anything with Keem. I just can't do it. I can't be involved business with what he stands for. It's kind of like the same thing. I know this is going to sound crazy. All right. I'm the kind of guy that if I can help it, I won't shop at Walmart.
Guy.
Okay. Why? Because I hate that company. Companies destroyed small businesses, little towns, right? Now everyone shops at Walmart because that's the best.
Oh
price.
my God, you're bringing this shit up, Phil. Come on.
But for the most part, I can't. That's the kind of guy I am. Maybe that's a huge flaw with me, right? But I'm not going to take money. I would feel like taking a paycheck from Keemstar is kind of like blood money. That's money he made on the backs of people, drama content he put out, people he's hurt to earn it. I'm not going to do that.
Didn't you start your career on like drama and hate?
Yes, you did.
People, I will say this: I never, if I could help it,
But the people in the Street Fighter community. Like,
yes, you did. You hurt people, dummy.
Okay, that's different. And here's the thing: you're right.
How's that different?
How is it different?
I've changed now. I will agree, and I've talked about this in documentaries about.
You haven't changed
Sorry,
at all.
you sound like the abusive ex-boyfriend trying to get back with his girl. I've changed now. Don't worry about it.
Adam, you're talking about something that happened the first half of the 2000s.
I know. I'm just calling, as I said. It just sounds funny, like hearing that.
Yeah.
That I changed now. That line is so. I don't know, overused by the
I was
wrong
an online
people.
troll in the Street Fighter community. Absolutely. There was online harassment that happened. Absolutely. I've learned from that.
A lot of harassment.
Now, and I realize how harmful that is and why you would never do it.
Oh, I would never do that now, even though I continue to troll all these people,
to do drama
LPG, side-scrollers after the fact.
Never do that for personal gain anymore, ever again. And taking that money from Keemstar, I feel like I'm taking money from other people who've been hurt in order to benefit. I can't do that.
You do that.
Have you reached out to anybody that you feel that you wronged in the Street Fighter community to let them know that you changed and that you're sorry?
Well, the people from back then, I would have absolutely no idea how to contact, but I have publicly said things. For example, last year I did a react to the Down the Rabbit Hole video about me. This is by Frederick Knudsen. It was millions and millions of views. It's one of the videos everyone was watching. It was made in 2017. It covers all my early years as a YouTuber,
outdated,
but also my career in the Street Fighter community. And I admitted publicly to how bad I was back then, what an awful person I was, just to get over in the Street Fighter community. There's people back then that, for no good reason, I trolled them. For no reason, I was just an asshole. And I apologized in that video. I mean, do you want
get Jaha over here? Come here and apologize.
Sure, yeah, because I want to know who's so hard to get a hold of.
What's his name?
What was the other guy's name?
I don't even know if he's around anymore in the Street Fighter community. I mean, in the early 2000s, I destroyed this guy for no reason, no good reason. I latched on to people because look, the more I make fun of this guy or the more I try to attack these people, I get over, right? And it caused so much drama. We almost fought at Evo. It's so stupid. Now
and you cowered and cried like a little bitch. What
kind of dumb shit was I thought I was.
You hid in the bathroom, Phil.
Thought, oh man, talk shit, and you're gonna have big rivalries at fighting.
You told me to go die, Phil.
Right. So is this
long Tran?
I don't know. You tell me, because that's the thing. Like these people are not hard to get a hold of, and his DMs are open. So like I feel like that's pretty disingenuous to say like, well, it's more like you don't want to put forth the effort in saying that, I'm going to say this publicly, and it's a big blanket to cover all the things that I've done wrong. When if you know that you've done things that you regret, you should probably reach out to people and say like, hey, I'm sorry for what I did. I'm sorry for what I said. Because the reality is that on today's internet, it's not impossible to find these people. It's very easy. And it just comes down to like a little bit of effort. And I'm not saying that you're not, but I'm saying that maybe there's an opportunity to provide a little more effort.
You know what, Craig? I never even thought about it like that. Here's why. Little mini story. When I was in high school, I was bullied a lot. Okay, and years later, one of my bullies actually contacted me, like probably around that time frame when I was in the Street Fighter community, and he found me online. He contacted me out of the blue. He's like, I just want to let you know,
we got to stick together. I'm just kidding.
No, he basically said, I'm sorry for what I did to you in high school. Like, I think back on it now because I've grown and I've matured and I realized what an asshole I was. And I responded, I said, thanks, but I don't really care. I've moved on with my life. You don't have to worry about it anymore. And that was it. So to me, I'm so
To
far
me,
removed from
we-
those days. You know, we're talking 20 years ago. Does this guy care to hear from me 20 years later in a DM?
Yes.
Never even crossed my mind. But you know what? You've made the point, and now I'm gonna have to think about it. I have to think about who are those people that I wronged back then, who possibly I could maybe reach out to. He's definitely probably number one, because that was one of the people who, you know, man, for no reason, it was just every day hammering that guy to the point
Right.
where at the end of Evo, we had a grudge match on stage, and then when it ended, I wanted to shake his hand, and he was so upset he refused to shake my hand because I had trolled him so badly on the internet. He basically was like, irrevocable harm that you've done to me. I'm not going to shake your hand. You're a piece of garbage, right? Now I look at that and I'm like, I probably would have felt the same because I've been through that shit. I'm on the other end of the trolling now, and now I get it, right? But you're right.
Well, I think like
makes sense.
you know what you're talking about. You know, you're talking about growing as a person. I think those are things that people you can absolutely learn from. You know, and absolutely should learn from. And those are things that are incredibly important to do. And to answer your question, does he want to hear from you? I guarantee he wants to hear from you. He doesn't know he wants to hear from you. These people don't. But taking time to just say, hey man, I messed up. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You know. If especially if you know you messed up, like people said, "Oh, Craig, you messed up," but I don't know why I messed up. They just point their finger, you know.
True.
No,
you know, I know why I messed up.
It's me every single day on this
right.
show with
It's been a consistent theme with Adam. He's always pointing his finger. Man, you really messed up. All right. Oh, wrong way. There we go. I'll say this.
Don't point your finger at me.
I'm not pointing any fingers. No way.
Damn straight.
All right. Let's continue on. All right. So we've made mistakes. We're going to attune for them or do our best. Let's go into WWE champions.
Sure.
Let's talk about this because this has been a consistent theme with all the detractors. They want to know about your experience with this game. Just a real simple yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Do you currently still play WWE champions?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so why are you so hesitant to talk
I'm
about
just
that or
reading
to
the
talk
chat.
about
You can't really see it because I'm
WWE
doing a window
champions
capture,
and-
just like reading some of this
We'll start
chat
there.
here.
Oh,
WWE
why am I hesitant
champions
to talk about WWE
time.
Champions? Well, the thing is, I wasn't at first. I did talk about it publicly years ago. When the
Oh,
game first came out,
semantics.
innocently
The king of
talked about playing
semantics is here.
casually,
Ding ding ding.
You know, that I was a fan of wrestling. This is a game that I played. You know, over the years, every once in a while, I will casually mention a mobile game I'm playing or whatever. But, you know, it's nothing that I would think that my audience would be super interested in to hear about me. What mobile games?
Voice
I
crack
casually would
again.
talk about them. That would be like something I would mention on my podcast. You know, oh, let's talk about playing a new mobile game today or whatever, right?
You
But what's
never
ended
brought it
happening
up like
is,
that.
Over the years, every little thing that I mention that's not directly related to my content or my business, what I'm doing on stream, somehow gets twisted.
He
into
is
something
lying to
distorted or
you.
messed up by my detractors
DSP
to
is
make me
lying.
look bad. And this is a prime example of them,
Scumbag.
in my opinion, and you can
Ugh.
disagree, trying to orchestrate something. Well, just one of the many things, because we can go through a lot of the things they've done that have been completely disproven. But this is one of the things that I never went out of my way to disprove because it's stupid. It's ludicrous.
Can I ask you, Phil? Have
Sure.
you ever spent money on this game?
Of course I have, yes.
Have you spent a lot of money on this game?
Good question is, what does a lot mean?
Anything over $100 is too much on a mobile game. So
Probably
if-
when the game first came out, yes, I spent over.
Well, I'm guilty of that too, though. I
That was
mean,
2017 when it first came out.
I haven't
Trust me, I'm
spent
versed on this game now
$450,000,
for reasons.
but I
So,
have
yes,
probably
in the
spent
first
over
year.
$1,000 altogether.
wait,
again.
did you just flex on how good you are at the game? What'd you
No,
say?
no, no. I said I'm versed in the game because I have to know about it because they're freaking put me in conspiracies about it and shit. It's ridiculous.
Conspiracies. No
Okay,
one's
well,
the
want
to
truth,
know about it.
Phil.
Then,
How
then
much money have you spent in this game? Do you mind saying?
How much
Total, I couldn't
money?
tell you. It's definitely total under $1,000 over the years that it's been in operation for sure.
Okay, not over $1,000.
No, no,
Because
absolutely not.
that's not what people think.
That's correct.
They
Oh,
think,
oh,
they
I
think
know.
that you're some sort of a whale in that game.
Oh, I know. I've seen every. You know, well, okay. I haven't seen every video. I've heard it all. First, it was like thousands. Then it was 10,000. Then it was 20. Then it was 40. Now it's 100. I think 100,000 supposedly I spent on this game.
Well, we
Well,
started
no.
talking about it, and you instantly went into just attacking other people. Like, we don't have to, like, your detractors. Like, they may deserve it. I don't know, but we can have this conversation without even bringing them up.
Sure.
Right? We'll bring them up if they're
Okay.
you know you're saying you're instantly going to they're making up shit. But you do play this game. You have spent money on it, and
Correct.
I think what's happening is when you're begging your audience for money and then complaining that this King's Feast is too
Down from
expensive
the
for
rafters.
$60 meal, and you're stressing for money, and then putting money into a game that is a mobile game that is, I mean, let's face it, mobile games are not necessary in life.
Nope.
Spending any amount of money on a mobile game, I've never played this WWE. I don't even know. I saw like a picture of it, and it looked like Candy Crush or I don't know what the hell it is, but it just feels like they feel like you're just using them to like using your audience, and like
Sorry.
I don't want to be used. I personally, I don't like feeling used. I've been used by people in the past, and I don't have time for that in my life. So when people are watching someone online and supporting them and then feel used, like when you say you beg too much, and
Phil
you're
uses
working on that,
everyone.
which
We
is
already
good,
know that.
because, as I said, it's not a good look. But even talking about, hey, this other game that they believe you're a whale in, why do they think you're a whale? Where are they getting this?
See, here's the thing.
The bank
I don't
leaks.
exactly know. There's been so much to this thing over the
I
years
don't know.
that I'm just gonna briefly in my head.
He
try to
showed it
remember what I
on
remember.
stream.
Apparently, at first, it was that there was an account in the game. That's the name of the account was They Call Me DSP. Okay,
which is also your Twitter handle.
that's correct.
Which no one else
So
in the
just by
entire
that
world
association,
would have an
they're
account
assuming that's
called
me.
that.
Okay.
No one
Now,
would else
from what I'm gonna
would have an
understand,
account called
after
that.
After
Phil.
I guess at some point it had been asked on a stream or whatever, is this you? And I said, no, that's not me in the game. It is not, by the way. That is not my account in the game.
What is your account in the game?
That I'm not going to say.
Oh,
And if you're going to say why,
I can't tell you
because
that. It'll
back when
affect the
signed up
safety
for
of
that
my
game in
family.
2017, there had never been any drama around mobile games or anything like that I had been involved in. No one ever asked me the question of what's the name of your account. I have an account name on basically my Apple device that kind of crosses over a lot of different accounts. Okay, and if I were to tell you
revealing all this
about my
information,
account,
dude.
these people will absolutely use that to hurt me. They will try
Of
to
course
use this
they will,
data
yes.
to get into other accounts. They will probably try to commit identity theft, impersonate me with Apple.
Wrong,
I can't do that.
wrong,
I've
wrong,
already been over that
Okay,
2
so
years ago.
so on the record, you're saying that that account, They Call Me DSP, is not you.
That's correct.
Okay.
Well,
Now,
so
That's
okay,
correct.
but here's the thing that I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around, right? Because apparently that name was changed later to Down from the Rafters, right? Why would somebody, if this is a troll that is a whale, right, that in this game, why would somebody after let's say after this was brought to your attention, the name is later changed, right? And they're spending all this money on this, right? And they know it's being, this is being tracked in this game. Why would they change the name if they're just trolling you with They Call Me DSP, this name? Why would they then change the name if it's just a troll to begin with? What's the point? I'm trying to wrap my
question.
head around this idea here.
sure. Apparently, there's a couple theories. Theory number one is, like you just said, this person was actually.
Oh, now
a
who's
troll
doing conspiracy
who's trying to
theories?
make me look bad.
Oh, scrambling for
And
conspiracy theories
that
just
was
to
the
try
theory
to
until the name.
justify
But
or
I
convince
agree with
people
you,
it's
that
not
doesn't seem to
him.
make sense, does it? Why would you try to change? the name if it wasn't him?
$110.09.
Maybe, and again, this is me just guessing. I have no clue. This
$110.09.
is not me. Maybe this person was a legit player. Maybe it
His
was a
account
friend
is
of mine.
linked to his
Maybe it was
phone
like,
via
who
his
knows? Or
actual
maybe it
phone
wasn't. Maybe
number,
it's complete
which
chance.
had to have
this is not
been
Darkside
two-factor
Phil. This is
authenticated.
not DSPGaming. This is They Call
It's
Me
Darkside
DSP.
Patrick.
That's
No,
right.
again, who knows? You're right. That's the point. Is it wasn't my name. It wasn't like
If he
Phil
was telling the
Burnell or
truth, he would
whatever.
not
It was
have to
one name that I used
make
my
up all
Twitter
these
account.
excuses.
So
Like,
maybe
100%
this
full
legitimately was
stop.
someone who was playing the game and over the years was getting like harassed. I don't know.
I
here's
do know.
what I can tell
Okay,
you.
okay.
Since this started happening, all right, I was afraid that my actual account name was going to get out there, and they were like I just told you guys, they
Like
were
I
going to
just
try to
said.
like harass me or change, harass my Apple account, hack my Apple account, whatever. I
Well,
reached
Phil,
out.
I gotta say real quick,
Mhm.
if that whoever they call me DSP changed it to whatever the hell they changed it to, why haven't you changed it to some
That's what I'm
obscure
about
thing?
to say. That's exactly what I'm about to say. I asked they have the help chat or whatever. I asked them. I said, "Listen, this is happening, and I'm really afraid." And they told me they don't do that. I was like, "What?" Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do name changes. I said, "There's evidence that there is." They wouldn't do it for me. So maybe, I mean, I don't know. Maybe this person, because of the level that they've spent supposedly in the game, because they're a whale. Maybe the company did them a solid because they keep spending, and so they did it for them. Apparently, you can't just change your name. There's no option in the game to change your name. I've tried; it's not there. And you contact support, they say we won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look, there's a lot here. There's a lot here.
There
and
is a lot there. Yep.
Look, I'm of the mindset of once somebody gives you money, you can do what you want with the money. But
True.
I think that we're here to put all the cards on the table here.
There's something about
work through these
transparency
things.
as well.
So when you play this game and you have this whale that has the exact same Twitter handle that you have, that is
which
pulling
no
this
one else
elaborate
would ever have that
elaborate
Twitter
troll
handle. I'm
on you,
sorry.
right?
If they
All
are,
right.
if that's what it was, I don't know.
Right. But I hate to bring this up. But I'm going to because I
No,
feel like
he
it needs
doesn't
to be addressed.
Go for it.
People have been very aggressive with you to the point to where they have leaked bank statements from you, right? And that's
those
obviously
bank
not cool
statements
at
were
all.
not mine.
It's
Holy
ridiculous
shit.
that somebody would go to that length, and it's honestly upsetting, but it's out there, right? And there have been, according to these leaks, there have been dozens, hundreds of transactions to the Apple Store. Many
shit.
over hundreds of dollars that had been there. Were those your transactions?
No.
So those were not tied to you at all.
No. The bank leaks. Now we have to get into the identity theft thing. Okay.
Oh, now you
Well,
forced
let's
my
just talk
hand.
about the bank leaks first.
Well, they're tied to that.
Okay.
What I mean, like they go hand in hand. Those bank
Go ahead,
leaks.
explain it then.
Sure, the bank leaks are not accurate. Those are not. That is not my account.
Bullshit.
So it's the person who took your
Bull
identity.
fucking shit,
was
Phil. Sorry,
spending
it
money on
adds up.
the
It
Apple Store?
tracks.
No, that's
It's
not my
legitimate
account at all.
evidence at this point that it is
So-
yours.
Is not me. That's fabricated, or it's someone else's account. I don't know whose, but that's not my account that was leaked. I've
So-
had a lot of issues that happened with identity theft that same summer, but they use that to run with some kind of this crazy conspiracy theory. to
Yes,
say that was me.
someone's
It's not.
spending hundreds of thousands of dollars
So you're
just
saying-
to make
just-
you
just
look
so we're on the
bad.
same page.
Exactly.
You're saying that this account
And he admitted
that is not
that was
yours,
his account
that had
before.
thousands
Not-
of dollars
Hold on.
of
Shut up,
of
Greg, for a second. No, he admitted those bank leaks were his before. When they first happened, he was claiming he had to spend thousands and thousands of dollars just to fix this, which is bullshit also, just to fix the identity theft that happened because those were his bank leaks. And now he's over here trying to pretend, and we all know this already. We know he fucking did this or tried to play it off that it's not his account. It's fucking his account, okay? It is. It lines up with things he said. He'll be like, oh, well, on my day off yesterday, I went to Curls and Twirls, and then we went out to eat at this place here, and then we went to Petco, and you look at that date, at that time that he said he was there, and the bank leaks correspond. Petco, Curls and Twirls, this place to eat, they all line up with the things that he says because he talks too much and gives away too much personal information on his dumbass little podcast, which isn't even a real podcast. So he gives too much information. And then, oops, well, yeah, so it lines up. It fully lines up. It's, fuck, yeah, exact, like fucking total wine and shit like that. Sorry, Phil. sorry, not sorry. That's your fucking account. And you even admitted, not WWE Champions account, because he will never admit to that. But he admitted those bank leaks were his actual bank account. And he's admitted that multiple times before this interview happened. And now he's like all of a sudden throwing an audible live on stream and trying to pretend now that he's under fire, crossfire from Craig and Adam. And now he's over here trying to pretend that, oh, those aren't his account. That isn't his bank account. Bullshit. It's your fucking bank account, dude. Just shut up.
Fees to the Apple Store consistently that are these amounts just happen to tie to exact amounts in the game that we're talking about, WWE Champions. And it's a game that you also play. Just so we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
You're saying that is not your account at all, and they were unsuccessful in hacking your bank account.
They did not hack my bank account. They did not have access to my bank account.
It seems awfully convenient.
But then why were you saying you spent thousands of dollars on identity fraud and had to fix it?
But that's the truth.
You can understand how us looking from the outside in looks at this and raises an eyebrow and doesn't quite buy it, right?
To me, I mean, from an outside perspective, who doesn't know anything, would look like you had to go and file for bankruptcy. You had all these issues and people calling you out for spending way too much money on this game when you should have been saving for taxes. And then, you know, this shit comes out and you're like, you're freaking sweating. You got to freaking do something about it. It's like, oh, I was hacked. That identity theft. Like, maybe the identity theft happened. I'm just like painting a picture for like these people on the internet.
No,
that
the
hate
identity theft
and are trying to
honestly did
convince
happen
the world of
because
what happened. And
someone did get a hold
like
of
Craig
his
said,
bank account.
I mean, you are playing it. It is your username. There are all these bank statements that actually correlate perfectly with this game. I'm leaning more towards that.
And honestly, the bank leaks don't just correlate to the game. The bank leaks correlate to his own streams, though. That's what they failed to mention. That's what they should have pressed him on. In his own podcast, on his own goddamn streams, like, they correlate his exact spending of, like, where he went on his day off. You can go to those bank leaks on that day, like I said, and you can see that they correlate exactly. That was at least his bank account. Like, okay, sure, maybe like a very stubborn person could say we haven't fully proved it was his WWE Champions account, even though it's pretty much like 95% positive ID match that it is his bank account. But let's just pretend it wasn't his bank account, right? Or not bank account, his WWE Champions account, right? We'll just pretend it's not, right? But there's 100% exact correlation that in a court of law he would be convicted guilty on all accounts. But like, he's 100% guilty of that being his bank account and those bank leaks being his. And he's spending a shitload of money on something with PayPal and Apple. Now, we can't verify and say what game or if it even is a game, but he's spending $110.09, $110.09 on something via PayPal and Apple, because he's taking the money out of PayPal and using it to buy something on Apple over and over and over again. And it lines up with the Down from the Rafters account and certain events going on in that game. So they're all tied together. It is his fucking account on both accounts.
Side of the story, because it makes more sense. I mean, you needed
but
an
we
out.
all know this already. We all know
money
like,
issues.
I'm preaching to the choir right here because you all know this. I know this.
It's hard to believe, dude.
Anyone with a normal fucking functioning brain, like even outside of this circle, can see this and know this.
I really don't have a way to prove my innocence without
yes,
further
you do.
exposing myself.
Oh my gosh!
You understand?
Do you have a police report for the identity
report?
You don't.
Oh,
you
no.
can redact certain things.
I do not. I don't have a police report. Geez, how do I?
Did you not go to the police when your identity was hacked?
No, he sure didn't.
I went to all my financial institutions. I went to the credit bureaus.
You didn't go to the police though when someone was stealing your identity.
No.
Why wouldn't you do that?
I didn't even think to do it. I don't think.
Oh my god, really, Phil? Really? Oh, I never thought to do
Try
that.
to fucking get the person and arrest them for stealing your identity.
I mean, I guess maybe, but here, okay. I guess what I got to do is tell you a little bit more about.
Oh,
all the crap I've been
yeah,
through.
yeah, exactly.
I have
I got to
contacted
tell you a little bit more about it to further confuse you guys. I mean,
police about the
I
harassment.
gotta tell you a little bit more about
contacted
it.
the police about harassment over the years.
uh-huh.
You know, when I got swatted, years
Oh my
later,
God, Phil,
when
just shut
someone was
up.
actually doing tons of fake transactions against my PayPal account that were all fraud. They were actually fraudulent credit card transactions. I contacted our police here, and I had a big conversation, and they said, "Listen, this, I swear to God, this is the conversation. We don't
And
do
like,
that.
if someone
We
says,
don't
"I
have it on
swear
our
to God, this
passport
is true.
list.
I swear to God, this
Listen,
happened,"
the only thing we deal with
Never
is
happened.
human trafficking. That's it. That's all we can do.
nope,
Here's the number
that's
to the
such a
FBI
fucking
if
lie,
you wanna
Phil.
call
Shut
them.
up.
But unless you're talking about ginormous sums of money being tossed
So
around,
you did contact them or you didn't?
not about identity theft. I contacted them years earlier about other issues.
And you talked to them about identity theft.
I talked to them about a lot of different things.
You talked to them about
happened,
everything.
Could happen. And they
But
basically
why would you have
Wrong,
talked to them
wrong,
about identity
wrong.
theft years earlier if none of that was even happening to you?
You see
I
the
don't know
web
if he
of tangled
specifically said,
lies he
identity
weaves.
theft. Like I said, there was a case where, first of all, I received death threats, like pretty serious death threats. Someone saying they're going to come to my
Okay.
house and murder me with a gun.
Well, that's
And
a
I-
completely
With a gun.
different subject.
Correct.
Right.
And I contacted them about that. And while I was talking to them, I also brought up PayPal issues that I was having with fraudulent transactions and other things. And they
Fraudulent
basically said,
charges,
"We
but
don't
it
handle
wasn't my
We can't.
bank
We don't have
account,
the
but I have
capacity.
fraudulent
Local PD
charges going
doesn't
on.
care. You have to go, if you want to go to the FBI, but they even said, here's the number. If you ever
Go
get
to the
something
FBI,
really
Phil,
bad,
please.
you're afraid for your life. or
Take my
something,
wife.
call us 911. Outside of that, anything else, it's, big transactions or whatever. Like
Talk
you lose
about
$1 million,
my
you call the FBI. That's it. So I didn't think, I know I didn't file a police report about the identity theft because I didn't think they could do anything. They told me years previous nothing's going to happen about it.
Well,
You know?
Well,
it didn't
so
seem
what-
like you were talking about identity theft with them. So
Well, so
Anyway.
let me ask this, right? You addressed the bank leaks on a stream.
Mhm.
Why? If they're not yours, why?
Yeah, good question.
Why did you feel the need to talk about the bank leaks if they weren't yours?
Well, what do you mean by that? Like,
Yeah.
are you referencing a specific
fucking
stream that I
serious?
did? Or-
Just
Yeah.
in general. I mean, if somebody hacks an account and they say this is darksydephil's bank account, right? Why don't you say, well, it's not mine? What are you even talking about? And like, I think that,
did.
okay,
I'm sure that I've never said that was my account.
then how come, and this is the internet doing what it does, there's been matchmaking based off of your life, going to restaurants, big events in WWE champions, things like that line up perfectly with this bank account. Like, and I think I said it's your money, dude, you can do what you want. I don't care, but why, like, it just, if we were in the court of law and somebody was to bring all this evidence
Court of
in
law.
front of, say, like,
Law.
look, hey, there's a bullet here.
broke
Here's the gun that
the
he
law.
used. It has his fingerprints on it. This person is dead because this
All
person
this
pulled the trigger, and the other guy's like,
circumstantial
"Oh, I didn't
evidence,
do it."
you
Well, like,
pile it
there's
up,
clear like
adds
DNA
together.
there, and like,
And he's
I
doing
think that's the thing that I'm
nothing
really struggling
to
with here,
defend
man.
himself
Is
and
it
just
just
prove
seems
his innocence.
like if you would just
He's
say,
not
"Yeah,
offering
it was my
any
bank account. It
evidence
was really
to
fucked up."
counter any of this.
It aligned with all these things. By the way, I play WWE champions. I'm,
Hey, there's
I
Minxie
have a
one,
hard time
nice.
quitting it. Those games are addictive. And he just kind of said, yeah, these things are accurate. I think people would just be like, okay, and they'd be cool with it. But it just seems like you keep digging and digging and digging. And I mean, walk me through this, because there's just evidence here, like mounds and mounds of evidence. And that
right,
say,
you claim that it was someone else, but
And-
why do a lot of the things on the bank statement actually correlate to things that you actually did and paid for?
right. And the only evidence
provable.
that you're putting out is, well, no, it's not, or that's a lie.
Yeah, he's
and,
not
just
proving
walk me through this,
his
man, 'cause
innocence at all.
this is the whole purpose of this thing was not to make you look bad at all. But I
Right.
just want to walk through this here, man, because it doesn't make sense. This doesn't add up.
It does not
What-
make
so what-
sense.
Specifically, like you said a couple things there. First, you said big events in the game correlate to money being spent on the account.
No, I don't think he meant in the game. I think he meant in life.
Well, in life and in the game, apparently there's like special events that happen in the game, and it's you know, a certain character's released or whatever. I don't know enough about the game, right? I didn't do a deep dive into the game. Just there are special events that happen. Hey, you know, it's like you see this on any game, Call of Duty, Apex. For this time only, you can buy this character or whatever. That's all. I'm just trying to walk through this, man.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know specifically what you're referencing. I guess what you're saying is there's transactions on that account.
I'm gonna plead ignorant. I have no idea what you're talking about, dude.
How would that even be proven? What does that
well,
mean?
I mean,
Because
maybe you
it
went to a
relates.
restaurant and you said, "Hey, I'm going to go to dinner tonight," and then there's a transaction at a local restaurant for
Because you talk
for an
about
amount that may
everywhere
add
you
up
go
to
on your
a couple
day off,
people
all
dining
the
at a
goddamn
restaurant. You know what I mean? That's all. Like I said, I'm just trying to walk through this.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds. I mean,
nothing.
first of all,
I don't know.
From,
I don't know what
exactly
you're talking
from
about.
your perspective, if I were sitting where you were right now and hearing this story, you know, I'd be like, "He's probably lying."
Because I'm lying.
I don't know how to defend. Again, I don't know how to defend myself without putting myself and my family at personal
my
risk, and
God.
that's the problem. I don't
That's-
know how.
You
fair.
face the risk.
I wish I
That's very fair.
knew. I wish I knew I could explain those transactions. Here's, I guess, man, I'm trying to figure out how I
My
can tell you
God,
from my
this does
perspective
not
what really happened
Phil.
that summer. And
Well,
why? Because
I'll tell you. Here's something very easy, very simple, very simple.
Which you won't do.
You have my email, and this is a small ask. It's also a big ask. You can
It's
say
a
what you
big
want.
ask for Phil. Doing anything is a
Will
big
you-
ask.
And you can say no, and I'm totally fine with this. But
he's gonna
just
say no, don't
confidentially,
worry.
between us, will you send me a screenshot of your account, of your WB account, and just so I personally, I will not share your name to anybody, but just between us.
man, I have to think about
And
what
vouch for
risk
you.
I would put out.
Yeah, and I will vouch for you either way.
I have to think about what kind of risk that. I don't want to say.
Oh
Here's
my
the thing.
God.
I'll
What kind
consider
of
it,
risk it would
but I
be for
can't
me,
agree.
dude? I don't know.
I have to see exactly what's the risk, you know. And I not say that I think you would do anything with it. I don't.
I think you got to look at what's to benefit more than what's to risk.
You have no idea the levels.
You have no
honestly.
the levels. The levels. Oh my God. No, Native Mamba, he is fully in control of his snorts at all times. He really is, because no, he didn't wear the neck speaker thing either. He complained about it after the fact. He's like, "Well, I had to wear these headphones for the actual interview, and I had to wear them for 5 hours that day, so I have to wear the neck phones for the rest." No, he's in full control of when he snorts and when he doesn't snort, though. He claims sometimes that, oh, I can't control it. It's just my bodily function. But like this interview, when he was in the bankruptcy call, he never snorted once. No snorts, no burps, no other things like that. Nothing. He's still picking at his face and his skin and rocking back and forth and all that shit. But he's not burping or snorting once. But the second he's on his own stream and he knows no one important or big is listening or watching, he'll be snorting up a storm. Be like, "Oh, I don't know, it's my nasal decongestion." Oh, wait, what's he call it? I don't fucking remember. But yeah, it's like, "Oh, my nose, guys, is all stuffed up. I'm sorry." It's bullshit.
I do.
So he can
I
fully
see
control it when he wants
I'm
to. He just doesn't
aware.
care.
I have chat up. I mean, I know. I mean, people have been tagging me relentlessly since it was announced that you were coming on the show, and I didn't know who you were. I had never heard of you before. Before this moment when Craig was like, "Hey, so do you know who DSP is?" And I'm like, "No. What's the deal?" And everyone's like, "Oh, we got to freaking tell Adam who DSP is." You know, it's like, I see the amount of attention that you get in a negative light, right? So like, I understand. That's why I'm like, I kind of understand that you don't want to be too forthcoming with your any more information that isn't public already, because as there's a lot out there.
It's because he's a narcissist,
but
dude.
you're in
He
a pickle,
can't
man.
Actually,
because
I think it hurts him to tell the
internet is a
truth,
fucking
honestly.
Pulse, and it's
He'll
a new
lie about
brain
the smallest,
that humans
stupidest thing
are still learning how to
for
adapt
no
to.
reason.
And
Maybe
right
he
now,
gets
there's a
off
big
on
chunk of
lying
the
to
internet
people.
that has a target on
He'll
your
be
head.
like, "Yes,
And,
I fooled
you know,
them," even though he
you said
doesn't
it
fool
multiple times
anyone,
that
really.
You fucked up.
Except for
you
his
held your
dense
hands up. You
baby.
said, "I
But he
didn't
still
handle
feels
this right.
like
I fucked up
thrill
multiple times
when
You
he
did
lies
this
to
and
people.
that." So it's like, if you want to remain on the internet, which you seem to enjoy streaming, you like what
He
you're
doesn't
doing now,
actually
which is
even
good.
enjoy
I'm glad you
streaming.
like what you're doing. But it's like, if you
I
want
like
to
that you beg for money all the time.
move in a direction that's gonna alleviate some of these haters,
No, we can't actually do anything to
anything
better
might
his
help.
situation.
Obviously,
That's
not
why it's
giving
a
them more
lolcow.
ammo. Which I mean, I've grown to trust.
Adam, you don't even know what a
Craig.
lolcow is.
Of
Come
course,
on.
you know, don't tell him I said that. But you know, I think that
And
that would
didn't
actually do
Adam
more
like
for you
actually
than
leave the
you think.
podcast, like
If
the
Craig came out
side
and was like,
scrollers,
all right, guys,
like after this anyway?
he sent me this.
Like he was
the
on for a little bit
proof,
longer.
and I can confirm to everyone that his account is not. They call me DSP, the whale account. You know, like
or the other
Down
name,
from the rafters.
or what it changed it to. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Like almost at this point now, it's like it's almost suspect that you're not wanting to just
It's very
do
suspect.
whatever you can.
Yeah. Again, I hear you.
I don't know how to disprove it, even though you've already told me how to disprove it. I won't disprove it because I can't disprove it. Because he knows damn well.
He would.
He knows
Like,
damn
I
well
have
it's
no
his
interest.
account.
Phil,
And he knows
to be, I want
he's
to be really
fucked.
clear with you, man. And just like this, we
Because
were
he
talking about
can't
this. I
actually
have
show it to
zero
him
interest
because it's his
in
damn
making
account.
you look bad. Like I think there's a tremendous opportunity here for you to be humanized to a lot of people who don't see you as human, you know, and to err is to be human, right? That's the old saying. Like everybody fucks up, and you've owned up to a lot of those things. But there are certain things here, man, that I just,
Biting his nails.
you know,
He's so
they
nervous.
don't add up. And you're saying,
And he
hey,
still thinks to
if I
this
was in
day
your
that
shoes,
his
I'd be
actual
saying the
this
same
interview
thing.
went well.
It doesn't.
He thinks the actual
I don't
interview
know, man.
itself
It's
went
not
well.
connecting. It's not connecting. And I'm
And then
trying
it
to
was
help
the
you out here, man. I
aftermath
really
that was
am.
bullshit.
And
I'm like, no, you were
and
drowning.
so-
Mike.
I feel like there's
help yourself.
I feel like there's nothing else to be said then, you know, because
Could I bring up one point about these bank statements?
sure, yeah.
Well,
So
that are
I've
mine.
seen limited
that
amounts
I
of
admitted
streams.
to?
You guys just said why do you bring it up on your stream? I only bring this kind of stuff up on my streams when someone else brings it up, and there's like.
So when someone
it's such a
baits me
loud
into talking
fervor
about it,
on the stream, people are talking about it in the chat. I'll address it. Okay.
but he doesn't
I
realize
did
it's
look into
bait.
it. I saw some of this supposed bank statements that are mine.
Mhm.
There's a couple
That are
things that don't make
yours.
sense to me. All right. Number one, if this is me, okay, there's a bunch of transactions on there, I guess from like pet stores, okay, and people are like, well, that's because Phil has a cat. Yeah, but those transactions.
Honestly,
are
I feel like
big.
someone could probably
You're
make
talking
like a
hundreds of dollars
psychologist
week or something like that. I have
thesis
one
in
cat.
college all
Now,
about
again, that's-
DSP.
He said, she said. It's not going to prove my innocence, but everyone knows I have one
Just like
cat. He's been
he's
on
a
the
fucking
stream
classic case of
all
like
this time. I don't
extreme
have a secret
narcissist
herd of
and probably
dogs
some
in my
sort of
basement. I don't even
personality
have a basement.
disorder too.
So we're, you know,
He would
some
be
of the
like fucking
transactions
committed
in
if for
that
like 50
that I've
years in the
seen
past.
don't
Like
make
he
sense
really
at
needs
all
like
per what I. It's funny.
You know
you
how,
say
like,
circumstantially
people like
some
if
of
they're
these
like
transactions could be yours
really,
if you
like,
went out, you know, and
autistic
ate.
or kind of
Okay, you're right.
challenged, they
But
have like
some
a
of them also
carer
don't
or
make any sense.
caretaker.
Like,
Kind of needs
okay,
like
there's a bunch of
a
transactions out
wrangler
there that
just
say
to like keep him
iTunes.
like poke him
Okay.
every time he's going off
Now, I
topic
don't
or
know,
saying
but
too much.
Here's the thing:
If he's
the
talking too much about like
narrative that they
like
have put out there
something
about
like damning
that
or bad,
I'm
someone will just poke him with a
begging
stick.
and shilling.
Oh,
to my
I
viewers.
mean,
The viewers give me tips every day, and that money goes right into WWE champions. Correct? Like that's the narrative that they say on the internet. If that's the case, why are there?
Oh
bank
yeah, you
transactions
you don't have to be an
for
expert
iTunes,
in psychology to know that
right?
he's
The
lying.
money is in
You
my
just look at his
PayPal
body
account.
language; it's really
Why
clear.
are there bank transactions for iTunes? It doesn't make any sense. Why would I take money out of a PayPal account that I have, that I get my tips from, transfer it to my bank account where then I take a hit because there's a transfer fee?
But you've admitted to doing that so many fucking times, Phil. You've always said that you instantly will take money from your PayPal and do the instant transfer to your bank account. You said that so many goddamn times. You admitted to doing this multiple fucking times, and we were calling you out on being a retard about it because they charge you a fee every time you instant transfer instead of over a couple days. You can have it instant transferred, and he does that multiple times. Like every time he gets like big tips, he'll fucking like instant transfer it out of there because in case he gets a charge back, it won't take that money away. So he gets to keep that money. So he's paranoid because of all the goddamn chargebacks. So he will instantly transfer that money to his bank account and take that fee. And then it's charged there. So like you have admitted multiple times to doing that yourself, idiot.
Fee anytime you transfer money from PayPal to a bank account. So I'm taking a big financial hit on that money. Then I'm making transactions.
now
in the
he's
game
trying to
off the
pretend that
bank account.
there's-
Why wouldn't it be made out of the PayPal account? That doesn't make sense to me. It makes no logical sense. To
Well,
me,
there's a
right,
lot of things
but you
that
don't
haven't
make
made
a
a
whole
whole
lot of logical sense
here,
at
Phil.
all.
I mean,
Your
let's
whole,
just be
your
real.
actual
There's
decisions
a lot
you
here
make
that
and everything
doesn't add up.
those don't make a
Right.
whole
Well,
lot of
isn't the
logical sense
iTunes
either.
like where the microtransactions from games get charged? So that actually would make sense.
It
Yeah.
would no. You're okay. You're correct, but the point I'm making is
What?
the money's in the PayPal account. So
Okay.
if there,
Yeah,
if
but
I'm-
hold on, I know what you're saying. But on
Mm-hmm.
PayPal, you can actually use PayPal, and you could click use balance or use your bank account, and it'll just pull the money from your bank account, but using PayPal as the payment service. So that's irrelevant because you can choose where the money's coming from on PayPal.
okay, I see what you're saying.
You see,
I was going off of their narrative, and their narrative is every day I'm begging my audience for money. It goes to my PayPal, and then I immediately spend that on WWE.
Which you have
champions.
admitted
That's
to
the
doing
narrative.
that before.
I didn't believe that narrative, but it does seem that
Okay.
you do get money and you just spend it on the things that need to be spent on instead of, planning for taxes the next month or whatever,
That's no, that is absolutely correct. Yes.
Right.
No, that's wrong. He doesn't even
or
spend it on
things
most
that
of his
aren't necessary,
bills.
which could
Then-
include WWE. Not saying that it is, but it could be.
Do you feel that you said you still play the game? Do you play any other mobile games?
Yes.
Do you feel that you're addicted to them at all?
No.
No?
I play them casually. I play them, for example, I'll be off the
That
stream.
he's
and it's night, and my
lying.
wife and I
Like
are
this
watching
is
a
so
TV show.
obvious.
And as we're watching the show, I might just open it up. And, these mobile games are not big narrative experiences. They're just like kind of busy work game, grinding games.
Because he's not playing the
Actually,
right mobile
they do,
games.
Like Adam said, this stupid WWE Champions is just a freaking puzzle game, like Candy Crush. It doesn't
So I actually do play a decent amount of mobile games. I don't really spend money in any of them except for Genshin. But like you got Genshin Impact, you got Honkai Star Rail. Actually, let me go to my phone really quick, guys. I can't reveal my information, but yeah, you got Aether Gazer is a really good game. Tower of God is a good game. Epic 7 is pretty good. Like these are all mobile games that have a decent, pretty damn good story to them. And most of these games, Azure Lane, and most of these games you can play 100% without spending any money to them at all. So that's like, I don't know what kind of game. Well, I mean, obviously we know what games he actually is playing, but there's actually quite a bit of decent mobile games that have really good story and pretty good gameplay, and not just some shitty Bejeweled fucking clone with low polygon fucking
It
wrestlers.
doesn't take a lot of intelligence to do them. They're more
I
like,
mean,
I want to
You
see
casual
him
players
play fucking
pay
Genshin. Well, no, he
under-
did play
just under
Genshin for like
$1,000.
2 seconds.
No,
I don't know. I
But
feel
if
like
you actually play
you
Genshin
elevate
for
your
any
level
length
when
of time,
you
there's some
actually
pretty good
put any money into
puzzles
it, but
in
then when
there that
it
are
goes
a
over
little bit hard to
$100,
actually do some of the
you
puzzles.
kind of elevate
But-
from casual to all right. I'm
Right.
one of the core
He didn't
players.
get that far in the
this
game
all
because he
started-
only
'cause
played
you
it for
guys
like
probably
what,
don't know the full
one
history.
stream.
This all started many, many years ago before there was tons of financial issues.
And I was so
that were
pissed when
public.
he was playing that too,
I was
because
playing a
that-
different WWE
he was
game. It
playing-
was called WWE Supercard. All right, this one I actively spent a lot of
he
money.
was
on. I
playing
will tell you
Genshin
guys
when
this, I can't tell you the
Klee
exact-
first came out. I
definitely-
think
gotta
it was
get
when
into that
Klee
one.
first came out,
Everyone
and
knew it.
he
I
got-
talked
So you
about it.
have
her
been
right
addicted
away.
to mobile games.
and I was so
Yes, I
pissed
have.
because I didn't have her at the
publicly
time
admitted this. I
yet.
spent way too much money on that, and there was another one that was called
His account just
Dragon
sits
Ball
there, and I'm
Z
like, I mean, I
Dokkan
have her
Battle.
now. but-
that one as well. This was before, way before the years before the bankruptcy and everything. I was spending too much money on them, and at that point, I stopped. I cut off. I stopped playing WWE
Sure you
Supercard
did.
and
Under
Dokkan
$10,
Battle completely.
add 9 cents.
When I saw what I was doing, I stopped.
Yeah,
myself
someone
from
else
doing it, and
mentions,
then,
like, why is there
I've
not a single
casually
snort
played
going
other
on
mobile
here?
games over the years, and basically what happens is with my, and I know you guys are going to say you're changing the narrative. Please bear
Oh,
with me.
you're
because-
changing
No, it's
the
not
narrative.
helping your case at all, though.
I
you
know,
know.
but I'm being honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you
I'm going
guys.
to be
This is all
honest with
public
you
record,
guys.
I talked about those games in the past, and with these detractors, what they do is they find a narrative and they stick with it. If I can dispute it or disprove it, or if it gets somehow disproven,
You've
then
moved
they
the
drop it and they
yeah.
latch onto the ones that
You've
they can't.
moved the
that I
goalposts so
haven't
many
been already
goddamn
been able to
times
disprove.
yourself, Phil. I don't want to
This
hear about it.
particular one, They've been looking for something to get me on for years and years and years, and every single thing gets disproven or just
We
forgotten.
don't have to go out of our way to look for
I
something to get
can't
you on. It's just
find a way.
Use Craig. Use Craig. Send him a screenshot.
I haven't found a way to do
I haven't
this
fo-
without
just
putting myself
ignore it.
in
I
trouble
haven't found a way.
And
There's a way
so this
right
is
here,
why the
dude.
narrative is
I have
continued.
not found
Even
a
though there's
way.
been so many
Way
different
right
things
there.
that have been disproven.
Nope.
There's
Don't
people
know.
who make videos about WWE champions that have made entire exposés about me in the past that were completely disproven. They don't care about that. What's
I'm
the
gonna
next thing
bring
that
up
we
the
can make
escort
drama out of,
saga
Phil? So we
because
get
that's the
personal
only
gaming
time
on
that
the
we were
internet,
wrong
clickbait
about
videos and
anything.
shit, you know. So
Even
that's
though
what I
we
mean.
weren't really
Because
wrong,
this
you
all started
technically
years
did
ago with
have a
those
lady
other games.
there.
I publicly admitted to everyone, yeah, I was addicted to them. I spent too much money on them. I'm done with that now, you know. And then I casually, people at one point, like 2017, when this game came out, asked me, "Are you playing any other mobile games?" Yeah, I started playing this one, and every once in a while I mention it. I think the last time that I actively had admitted that I had played it was 2019. I had said that I was on a plane to Connecticut to get married with my wife, and I had played it on the plane. And then people use that as a, you still play mobile games, you're still you know.
So let's, okay. So you say you play the game. You say you're not addicted, although you have been addicted to mobile games in the past, right?
Yes.
And I'm just going to lay this all out in front of us, all right? So you used to play a mobile game that was WWE related.
Yes.
Okay. You were addicted to that game. Fast forward, new game comes out, right? You
And I just
play
get
that
over
game.
my
And
addiction
by the way,
so
you
easily, just like
separated
this.
yourself from that
Lifelong
game because you
addictions
knew
like
that you were
drinking and
addicted to it.
gambling that I have issues
Usually in the
with
case
all
of
the
addiction,
time.
just usually
Oh.
there's some sort of intervention
I
in
could just
life.
easily
some
just
sort of intervention that happens, whether it's
break
brought on
out
by
of it.
friends, family, or just personal. You know, you look inside yourself and you realize something needs to change, right?
Right.
Do you feel that you're addicted to these games? I've already asked you this, but I just feel like, once again, you have transactions that line up with major events. I'm getting DM pictures of you of your Discord, you know, your Discord handle in the WWE Champions Discord, right? I have, and
I've
it just
seen
seems there's all, so make it make sense. Like, this doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. I have such a hard time believing that there is a group of people that are so hell bent, this evil plan to make you look bad, that they're willing to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on WWE champions just so they can make you look bad. I don't buy it. And once again, there's an easy out here, Phil. I'm offering you the easy out. All you got to do is just take a quick screenshot. You
Nope,
can
I can't
email it
help
to me.
myself.
It's
Can't actually
done.
do it.
We all move on. The detractors move on, and everybody goes, okay, you know what? You know, and we all move on. That's it. That's it. It's very simple, man. And
He
we
made it
want
to
to make this
watch
happen.
Mojo.
Like,
Oh my!
I
he was
want
on a
you to be able to
watch
move on
Mojo
from it. I want the detractors to be able to move on from it.
Oh
I want
my
the internet to
Lord.
move on from it. I want all the WWE content to be done. Like, it's there, man. It's there. Like,
Yeah.
let's make this happen.
Hey,
Like,
look, it's White
and
Low
then
Tier
we all
God.
move
Why
on,
would
and we can start talking about other things.
Okay. Like I said, I'll think about it. I gotta see
I'll
how
think
I
about it.
can do
Absolutely not
and,
doing that because that would
again,
actually help me.
liability, I'm not 100%
And I
against
can't
it,
prove
but I'm
this.
very strongly considering doing it.
Can't disprove my innocence. Wait, can't prove my innocence.
Let's see if we can do it before the end of the stream. We have a captive audience here. They want to know, right?
Oh, no, hold on. I told you I'm
Oh,
not even
whoa, whoa,
doing
whoa,
it on
whoa,
my
whoa.
phone or anything on the stream. I'm definitely
Okay.
not doing it today on the stream.
Okay.
It's just,
Okay.
you know, you gotta understand there's liability here. This
Okay.
Is, this is
There's
not just a discussion
not.
for me either. I'm talking to my wife, you know.
You
everything
dumb
here. 'Cause if this
Okay.
account gets out,
motherfucker.
that's a lot of stuff that
I'm sorry. It's such bullshit. Phil, if they get access to your real WWE Champions username, like, it's not going to change anything. Oh, big deal. We have a fucking, like, suppose he actually is innocent, right? Like, if he was innocent, he would want the burden of guilt and these rumors to actually go away, and he would actually do it. But he can't do that because, and on top of that, like, the only chance that he would have to prove his innocence was right here. And, like, after the stream, he could easily go and buy a different account because you can apparently buy different existing accounts, or make a new account, or maybe even do like a Photoshop of some way or another. So like no one's interested in this after the fact, and he brings it up after the fact. It's like, well, I was gonna send him to him. I was gonna send it to him. I had gathered all my mobile game accounts, and I was gonna send. No, you fucking weren't. And it doesn't matter once your internet cuts out, which I don't remember exactly when his internet cuts out. I think it's right around here somewhere. His internet cuts out or blips out, and he's like, "Oh, it's a DDoS." It was not a DDoS attack. But once his internet cuts out, he loses this chance forever. He cannot prove his innocence ever again at this point. And the general consensus is he's guilty. So there's no way he can disprove it. And he couldn't, like, I mean, to be honest, it was fucking his account anyway. So there's no way he was going to be able to disprove it. And even if he bought a different account, it's people just say that because he couldn't have done it on the fly. Because he had no way to know that they were going to ask him to do this. Because if he did know they were going to ask him to do this, he could have made a fake account beforehand and probably done it then. But he has no way to know that.
Can be compromised.
So he loses his chance.
Like I said, family, I get it, right? Totally understand.
It's not family.
Okay. Then you know, when you decide that it's
and
this
these
is
are
something that you're comfortable
normal
with,
people on the outside looking in.
The email will only be seen by me, not anybody else.
Really see,
okay? And I will delete it immediately after.
Cropped it. Most of them are like,
you know,
well, to be fair, there's a lot of detractors in there too. But
all right, well,
even normal people are saying he's guilty.
I mean, I don't really know how to move on from this. I don't know. I just feel like there's this mountain of stuff here, and it just.
Phil, I got a show name that you can do. This is how you don't game. I think you need to own it, man. I think you need to fucking take back what they took from you and just fucking lean into that.
He
dude.
already tried that at him. It didn't work out too well.
You know, I mean, just do what you want to do. Do you, man? But like the best thing to do is be honest.
Dude. Yeah, no. What was it like when he was when he had KO Gaming up and running? He was trying to have his fans make This Is How You Don't Plays, but he was trying to have them make nicer This Is How You Don't Plays. He didn't want them to go too hard in on him. So they're like, oh, make these like This Is How You Don't Plays that showcase my bad gameplay or whatever, but don't be mean about it. Show like nice, like show me not being that bad. And it failed totally, obviously. Like everything on KO Gaming, it failed terribly. But he was trying to take it back for a little while.
And own up to whatever, right?
And it was pretty bad.
If you truly, you said multiple times, you don't know what you could do. I think Craig has given you a good out. If you want to use it, like I understand, you got to like think about it. That's fine.
Yeah. Again, we didn't even get into the identity theft stuff of what's happened to me, and that that's why I'm so afraid. It almost ruined me.
No,
that's what I mean.
They did. They talked about your bank accounts. That was identity theft.
Like as pointed out in the chat, several people have said like the charges to your bank account or to the bank statement that is not yours.
The alleged account.
That is not yours. They include shops that are around where you live, and restaurants and like that just seems like. Once again, Phil, help me out, man. Like. We're looking at an account that just so happens to be around where you live, that just so happens to be shopping and dining where you're at, that just so happens to have your a social security number that is extremely close to yours. I mean, that's how they access it. Not like I said, we talked about how we totally disown that. That's ridiculous, but it's out there.
Let me ask you a question because this is interesting. Let's say. The screenshot, I send you a screenshot, you see it. Okay, this is his account. This is not what he said was true. So then how did that happen? How did they make this bank? How did they do that? I don't know how they did it. I wish I knew. Just like you just mentioned, the Discord chat and stuff. I don't know how they did that. I have no idea. I guess I'm stupid. I'm a dinosaur, right? Like, I don't understand.
No, that still pisses him off that someone called him a dinosaur.
It's like it still
pisses him off to this day.
I don't know about Discord enough to answer how they could fake those logs.
I'm not a shit.
Bank account, not a dinosaur. Bank account that they somehow had access and found one that's close to. I don't know. How could that be possible?
do you think that somebody went in and created a fake bank account and made 12 hours, 18 hours, however long it was, I mean, do you really think that somebody dislikes you that much that they're willing to make a 12 to 18 hour audio recording of every single transaction from a bank account that just happens to be right where you live, right in the same area, at shops you may or may not you visit? Like, this seems like way
spending
dude,
what, hundreds of thousands of dollars? I don't think
Yes.
so.
Yes, I believe they hate me that much. I have other situations that are similar that have happened to me, and I could tell you about them if you want, or we don't have to. It's your call.
It's just way too elaborate, man.
I hear you. I've had people who've catfished me for 2 years, saying they were someone to get into my group. They moderated for me on my chat for 2 years, saying they were a person. They had a whole persona of who they were. All my other moderators were friendly with them. And then after 2 years, they revealed, I'm a secret detractor and I was here to try to ruin Phil.
What was it, Anonymous?
You spent 2 years of your
someone
life
else?
doing this? And you're like, that can't be true. It's true. It's documented.
What about Phil? What
It
about
doesn't take a whole lot of effort to moderate.
What about
someone,
that?
though,
These
for someone,
accounts, the Down from the Raptors, the DSP account. Why are they tied to your phone number?
That I don't know, and I don't know what that means. How could they be tied to a phone number?
Well, when you register an account, you have to put a phone number attached to it, right? Why would that be?
No. To my knowledge, if you're going to play any mobile game, you don't ever enter your phone number into it. It's tied to your...
It's called the Line app, Phil.
Line?
It can be tied to... What's that?
The Line app?
Yeah.
Line,
Perhaps.
that's
What's
one of
that? I
them.
don't know
The
what
apps,
that is.
correct. There could be... Well, wait. Hold on. I'm trying to think, like, currently... Okay. I'm trying
He's
to put it in
such a
perspective of
fucking
game that I
liar.
played today.
Jesus
Like, for example, WWE Champions. I believe it's your Apple account, it's a Facebook account, or...
Oh, you.
There's a third one, and I don't know because I don't think I use the third one. So I use the Apple account. I never entered my phone number. You know what I mean? Like, it was just the Apple account you log into when you download anything off the Apple Store or whatever. There's no phone number entry there. So I don't know how...
Two-factor authentication, because WWE Champions requires a Line app for their guilds or whatever they're
If
called.
you bring up the Line account, that's something else entirely, which we could talk about too, because they've tried to spin that into it too.
Craig is just like, this motherfucker's just lying his
been
ass
going
off.
for 3 hours.
We have? Holy crap.
And it's been a great interview. I know it's been tough. I'm certainly taking the stance of being very critical. You know, I don't want to make you uncomfortable or anything. But I think that we should move to super chats because, and I don't know if we're gonna have the time to read them all because I saw super chats going the entire time.
Right. Well, there's a lot more to get to here, and I think that those who are contributing, they will be read and they will be appreciated. But I feel like there's more substance here that we need to hit on before we talk about that. And I think those who are contributing will contribute because they want to contribute and they appreciate that this is happening. And Phil, I want to be clear, like, dude, I told you all along, man, I really appreciate you doing this. Like I said, you had other offers. This was not meant to be an interview to start with, but I appreciate you coming on and being a part of this. I know that those who want to contribute, they will contribute. They will give memberships. They will super chat. They will buy merchandise, whatever, because they want to support. But I think that there's more substance here. So let me continue with this really quick, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah, it's your show.
Right. Well, it's our show, buddy. It's our show. Let's talk about this, man. So we'll move on from WWE, and we'll talk about something else. You have been. You have been doxxed.
Bad. Like, the only game he's somewhat decent at is Street Fighter,
right?
And even then, he's not that good.
Now, to be clear, there's been a lot of the idea of what doxing is, right? Like, leading up to this, I was asking people, like, I want to know who I'm getting my information from. People are like, you're doxing us. Well, no, I was asking to see who I was speaking to. I feel
he doxed himself back in Connecticut and in Washington a long time ago. He doxed himself because he had envelopes that had his address on it doing one of his house condo video tours or whatever. and it had his address on it. It's like, oh, well, here's my address. No one's going to do anything about it. Or some bullshit
Doxing
like
is
that.
putting
He
personal
doxed
information
himself.
out on the internet for people to find, for people to see, that normally wouldn't be available to people, right? And you have been doxed. Your personal information has been put out. Like, why do I know that your personal phone number is tied to this account, right? Like, you know, your address, you know, all these things. It's insane. But you have also been accused of not necessarily doxing, but holding the information of that you have over people's heads. And I wanted to kind of show you this clip real quick, and then we can talk about this. So let's.
The fact that his fucking Twitter account is the same exact avatar that he's fucking using for this troll account on my website. Oh, by the way, I have your IP,
I have your
name,
address,
and I have your address. So congratulations, you fucked up.
You really did.
You really did. Be awesome one on Twitter. I have all your fucking personal information. Now, I'm gonna say this up front.
Come across the pond and how I come across the pond and pay you a visit one of these days.
Video, I do not condone it. I will never give out someone's personal information or anything like that whatsoever. However, understand something. I got you. How about the fact that his fucking Twitter?
Do you think that's okay?
It sounds like a threat, right? That's the first time I've
Sure
actually heard
does.
this clip since I said it.
Pretty sure it was a
I
threat.
forgot all about
Yeah.
that.
That is definitely a threat.
That is, I mean, okay, no, it's not. Again, this is kind of goes back to you tell a dark joke. You
Yeah,
made
it was.
one way, it came out a different way. What I was getting at in that clip was this is someone who had hurt me. I don't know if you want to get into the specifics of what they had done. It's kind of a moot point, right? Really badly. It's actually one of the things that have actually hurt my business overall financially since then. Okay, I've never.
So
really
it justifies it.
No, it doesn't justify.
That's what you're. That's why you wouldn't have said it otherwise.
It got me that angry. It got me that angry. They had actually hurt me so bad for no reason. I don't even know who that guy is. All right, and the only reason I knew is because someone had found that information, sent it to me. I didn't find it myself, and I said that on the stream because I was so upset. And essentially, what I should have said was, this is a situation. You hurt me so bad. I don't know who you are, and I think I'm going to go to the authorities with this. That's what I should have said. I shouldn't have said, "Oh, I got all your information," and blah blah. You're right. 100%. You're right. I never doxed that guy.
So it was a threat. So you admit that it was a threat.
It was me venting anger.
That's a threat, dude.
It was me, correct. It was me venting anger in a threatening manner. Yes. But I never did anything with it, nor did I ever dox that person. Their information never went on the internet publicly, or if it did, it wasn't me that did it. Like I said, someone sent me the information.
But
Yeah, because I have my little minions go and do the shit for me.
That's not something that you should.
Uh-oh. Craig, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Craig, your audio.
Yeah, what happened?
I'm not sure. His mic seemed to have been muted.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, I mean, I have people that support me. I have a few different companies. I have a coffee company, and I have people's information, and I would never ever use it ever, and I would never claim to, even if someone pissed me off, even if they bought my coffee company, I knew where they lived. That just feels like a weird, like you say, your anger or whatever, and it just slipped out. It's like, is there things that go on that, in your head that might, because the way it sounds, it seems like you kind of just fly off the handle sometimes and do shit and say shit that that gets you in trouble. I mean, it almost feels like I need to be worried about you, dude. What's gonna happen?
Nah,
next?
no one needs to be worried about Phil. And just let him do his
change,
own
but it turns out
ruin
that
his own life. His own
video with the little girl was only 7 months ago. It wasn't a year ago. That's pretty recent, dude.
You can say it's racist. You can say it's racist.
It wasn't racist. It was racist,
bro. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. The internet and thinks it's racist. I saw it, and it's fucking racist. So you're talking about a killer who's killing people in their basement, and then you're bringing up the slave, sending a little girl off to the slave trade. I don't know. It's pretty obvious. All right. Mm-hmm. So I know you claim that it isn't, but it really did sound that way. But that's whatever. I don't know, man. It just feels like.
No, Craig, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I still can't hear you, Craig.
What the heck happened?
I got tired of his bullshit. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but anyway,
Or bullshit
to
in general.
follow up on what you just said, so that clip, just so you know, 2015. You know, that clip is from
Okay.
2015. Not to say that that means anything. Yes, I will
Check,
admit
check,
I
check.
made. There you go. You're back, Craig.
All right, got me. Good. Thanks.
So that clip was from 2015. That's, again, one moment in my 15-year career that maybe I made a threat of doxing. I never did it, but I shouldn't have done it. And I openly 100% admit that. I didn't even know I had ever done that. I don't remember that. I really don't. I never know that it even happened. So I apologize for that. I should have never done that. You know, the guy should also have not hit me with false copyright strikes that destroyed DSPGaming and lost me, you know, tens of thousands of dollars that year and onward and to this day. But that's a moot point. I did the wrong thing. Oh, you can't fight a wrong with a wrong, correct? You can't fight fire with fire. It just makes things worse. And I shouldn't have said that.
You're right. You're right. But I feel like that statement in itself, the idea of like you can't fight fire with fire, you can't fight.
Oh, he fights fire with fire all the time.
I feel like a lot.
There's
of this
also a really good
conversation,
Metallica song,
Phil,
but
has been you, like it's been deny, and it's, you know, I don't know, you know, that's not true. That didn't happen. But you haven't really given any facts to back it up. I feel like just across the board, there's this entire mountain of evidence here that's saying, you know, these are the things that Phil does. These are the things that has happened. And you're just saying, well, no, it's not. And
Oh, I didn't say no, it's not. I said,
or that's not true, or that's not my account. That's not me. That's not my. You know what I mean? Like
without proving any
that's all I'm
proof
saying,
to
you know,
prove
it
his innocence. He has no evidence
just
whatsoever.
when there's a mountain of evidence,
to back it
you
up.
can't just say like, well, no,
No,
that's
I
not
didn't.
true.
Yeah,
there is definitely a reason why I'm in the position I'm in. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. This is 15 years of me all day, every day, putting myself on the internet, making mistakes. When I started 15 years ago, there was no groundwork of seeing, oh, here's someone who's done it, and here's the right things and wrong things to do. And I've made tons of these mistakes over the years. Like I was just saying, that clip's from 2015. When that happened, I'm sure everyone called me. I said, how dare you make threats against that person, even if they've hurt you? Oh, you know what?
Yeah, I
You're
guess
right,
they do.
probably
They
shouldn't have said
technically
that.
do to
I
like
won't do that
controlled
stuff
burns
anymore.
and stuff.
And then maybe I
to
did it
prevent
again. I
forest
don't know.
fires.
But you know, I'm doing my
Because
best
only
to
you
improve and
can
not
prevent
make those
forest
same mistakes
fires.
again. I do slip up. I absolutely do. What I would say,
And the firefighters.
and I, you know, Craig, I have no clue if you did this or anyone else. If you just watch a stream of mine, you know, just come by one day, watch
I have,
half an hour of the stream.
That's
Did
not
you see
gonna.
anything
That's gonna.
like that on the stream?
Oh
Did
my
you actually see me? You know what I mean?
No, look, there is something to the idea of people.
And so also like when Craig was doing one of his after this interview happened, Craig was doing one of his pop-up streams that or whatever. And actually let me just throw this up. I think I still have this. Hold on. Oh, that would be a pain because I would have to switch. Oh, hold on one second. Let me keep playing this for
Picking
now.
and choosing things that people say during interviews, during streams, during whatever, right? There is absolutely something to that, and it only takes 10 seconds to screw things up, right? I totally understand that, but it just Adam, you said something yesterday when we were talking about this. Do you want to? You were talking about a collection of moments. Do you want to kind of say what you were saying yesterday? I don't want to steal your thunder on that.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
Well, you're saying that in the event of these collections,
that
that
like
your
froze up.
detractors.
All right, hold on a second. Sorry. Hold on one second. I'm doing stuff. Display capture. So this was from one of the streams after the fact.
Stray Fox says DSP said he sent you his 8-hour react to his down the rabbit hole for you to watch before the interview. Did you watch it? I did, which is why we didn't really touch on a lot of that stuff. That was from like 2018, 2017. Most of the things we touched on were in the last few years. Like you notice, we didn't even touch on the whole whack off thing until it was brought up at the very tail end of the show. Like, and it was just kind of a joke question at the very tail end. So yeah, I mean, didn't even cross.
So yeah, I did ask him about it. Hold on. Because I did ask him. So yeah, so because DSP sent him the whole ass 8-hour fucking 6-hour down the rabbit hole where he reacted to that boring ass thing, and Craig supposedly watched that whole ass thing. For Craig, because that was
Put
tedious
together
to
of
get
you
through.
saying
I
these
remember.
things.
But yeah.
There's a lot of them. Like there's a lot.
Mhm.
And if you were to go through most people over the last, most people just in general, there wouldn't be as many. They wouldn't be as long. There's just a lot to sift through. And maybe you have a more watchful eye on you than most people. But it just seems like there's a lot there, man.
Mhm.
And I think that's probably the biggest thing here.
I think you're right. I think it comes with being one of the most prolific content creators of gaming that have been, over 100,000 videos. 15
There's
years
that
of my
illusions
life.
of grandeur.
No, I don't care. I'm not saying it's
Grandeur.
good content. I'm saying it's just happy.
Oh, what was
you
that,
can say
Phil?
shit if you want. I don't care. Good content. 15
There's
years
that
of my
illusions
life.
of grandeur.
No, I don't care. I'm not saying it's good content. I'm saying it's just happy.
I
you
might
know?
have to clip that,
You can say shit
honestly.
if you want. I don't care.
It
But when
is
I put
shit.
myself out there that much, there's just that much more.
I'm gonna have to clip that.
microanalyze. And when I'm a small time guy, and you see concretely, oh, if we make that video about Phil, number one, you're getting the clickbait views. You're getting money because you're probably running ads on the video, or people are donating to you to continue to make fun of me. This is how you don't play. I became the whipping boy of the internet. People made entire channels that were profitable based off just making fun of me, right? So when I'm out there as the target and people realize, well, people have been doing this for years and they get away with it. This started making fun of my gameplay. Then it became make fun of him and his mannerisms, make fun of his family members, make fun of, it's just it kept going big, as much as you can, as toxic as you can.
Know that you're toxic.
And that's what I mean. Like, I feel like I'm the one. It's me and others. They call us lolcows, correct? It's the term that's used, lolcows.
Right, lolcows, yeah.
Which you are.
So you got Wings of Redemption, you got Boogie. We're targets because we make mistakes repeatedly. We all do, and sometimes we make the same mistakes over and over.
You make
I
a
feel that other
lot
content
more
creators
mistakes than
make
normal
those same
people, though.
mistakes too. Maybe not as much as us. Maybe not to the extremes that we do. But those other content creators are big, and they have ginormous audiences that back them and defend them. And, the crazy stuff. I mean, the other day I saw a video of Moist Critical picking up an assault rifle in his video.
Mm-hmm.
If I picked up an assault rifle, I'd be off the internet. That would be ending for me. I'm out of here. Right? It doesn't even matter what the context is. If I pick up a weapon,
But
on
I think
this
it
street,
does.
I'll be off the internet.
But it very much does. It very much does matter the context.
Trying to
right?
get Moist in trouble.
What he was doing was he was making a point. I saw the video you're speaking of, and he was talking about some beef he has with some other guy. I don't really know the whole deal, but the guy that he was talking to was talking about clips. He was talking about clipping streams and clipping, and the guy who was kind of threatening him with a gun, who was talking about the clips, and he's like, no, listen, that's not a clip. This is a magazine. And he was explaining these things in context for what was going on. I think context very, very much does matter, though.
It is against terms of service on YouTube to be live while holding any gun.
That's
Well, he
right.
wasn't live. He wasn't live. Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't live? It was a video?
not live. Yeah, it was a video. So
Then there's
Okay.
nothing wrong with it.
he may be demonetized and such. But so let me say this, Phil. You have your detractors. You have people who very much want to see you fail, or enjoy seeing you fail, or laugh seeing you fail. That does not sound very fun to me, right? It doesn't sound like something that I would want to be a part of. Have you thought about going to therapy or anything along those lines to help you get through this? Because this is obviously not an easy life that you've chosen for yourself. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, and I would imagine that going to talk to somebody, therapy is not a bad word. It's a very good thing for a lot of people, where you can just go and get these things off your chest and talk about these things. Have you considered that ever?
At one point I did, for sure. I would say probably around, like I told you, around 2016 was one of the worst years of my life. I hated my job. My personal life was falling apart. But I didn't. I've never formally talked to anyone. I'm not anti-therapy or anything like that. But no, I had just never gotten to that point where I've considered doing or seriously pursued that.
I'm just throwing this out there. Is it because you think that it's not you, it's everyone else?
No,
That's the feeling I get.
I'm a flawed human, man.
I know you've admitted your flaws from the past. Like you say, like, yes, back in
And he's still
2015, I
making a
said
lot
that
of them
fucked up shit,
now.
and I took that, you know, this is how not to play way wrong, and
protecting
I admit
PDF
that now, but
files,
it's like it's really easy to do that, right? To convince
still spending
someone
lots of
that
money,
you've changed.
still
Not saying that that's what you're doing, but
abusing his fans.
it could be. All right. So it's like, you know, it feels kind of like you can do no wrong almost, and that's the vibe I'm getting. And
I could do no wrong.
no, like
what are you
not
talking
in the
about?
past,
Yeah.
but it does feel like you kind of have like, well, I've changed, so people should understand that, and like.
He thinks it just
I don't
excuses
know.
everying. Like you
It's just
can't.
a
Like
vibe I'm
that's
getting
not the
that
case. There are
'cause
some things
there's been so
that
many
he
times
did in
when we've
his
asked
past that
questions,
can't
and
be
your response
excused or
was
waved away because he
instantly
changed.
blaming other people, and that was a consistent answer throughout the entire 3 hours and 10 minutes that we've been live. So you know, it's like a dishing responsibility elsewhere.
And that's the thing. It's like
if I can echo
when
what
the
Adam was saying,
entire
right? Like,
when you have an
so we
entire
want nothing
community
but good things for
surrounding you,
right? We don't
and
want
there's
negative things to come
so
from this.
many
The whole idea
people
of this
saying
was,
you did
to
something
allow you an
wrong, you did
opportunity
something
to kind of
wrong, you
talk
did
and
something
talk through
wrong.
things.
You probably
Do
did
you-
something
I mean,
fucking wrong, and it's
Adam is
not
correct.
just
You know, pretty much what
everyone
about this?
else.
Well, my detractors,
You know what I mean? But he's
or
such a
the people
narcissist,
who
he
are
can't
after me,
accept that. So
at
his
what
brain
point,
has to do constant
you have
fucking
taken accountability for some things, right?
spiral jump jet.
This is how I was in the Street Fighter community. This is how I was then.
Acrobatics to
But
try
I feel
to
like there are other things that
you know what I mean,
have yet to be, you have yet to attune for or atone for, whatever the word is.
try to twist it in a way where he was
that are
right
just-
about everything.
I just go back to it, man. It just seems like there's just this mountain of evidence, and we're talking fucking JFK level conspiracy theory here. If all this stuff lines up the way it does, and if you were just to say like, yeah, I play WWE Legends, yeah, I'm addicted, yes, I have a problem with spending money on it, yes, I need to improve. I think people will be like, yeah, cool, let us help you, instead of stop lying, and that's what it feels like right now, man. It just, like, only you know the truth in your heart, right? And the evidence attached to it, right? Which there is a mountain of, right?
Craig, you sound like a detective right now trying to get a confefession. I'm just saying.
No. And it's not trying to. I'm not trying to. I'm more trying to sound like fucking Dr. Phil.
I know, but
like,
there's a fine line between the two, and
I understand
I'll be honest, it feels like you're trying to get a confession, and I don't. I'm not trying to like make it weird and
and I apologize for that.
You've already been there a couple times. So
I know, but I'm just having a really hard time getting through it, and I apologize if that's what it sounds like. That's not what I'm trying for.
You might not be able to get through it, Craig.
Not with this idiot.
Right. I may not, and for that I understand why people would be critical. It just too much lines up.
With the situation I'm in, it's a lose-lose. There is no win. There is no win in this situation. There just isn't.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, there's a risk.
Phil, like, people wouldn't even give it too much of a shit about the WWE Champions thing if you actually just admitted it. Like, yeah, you spent a shitload of money on WWE Champions and you have a gambling addiction, right? That's bad in and of itself. But what is worse in a lot of people's minds is that you're lying about it constantly. And, like, I mean, honestly, technically, people donate money to him, well, A, because he begs all the time, but B, because, like, they're technically his fans, even though they're mentally challenged, dent heads, whatever you want to call them. They're still his fans. They have the right to give him money if that's how they want to spend his money. So, technically, he can do whatever he wants with that money, which includes if he really wants to blow it and throw it all away on WWE Champions, that is technically his right. Now, we have the right to be upset about that, and a lot of people are upset about that. But what they're trying to do here is they're trying to, like, obviously get him to admit it, but to come clean. And I think that if he actually did admit, yes, I have a problem, I am sorry, I'm like, it's really bad, I have an addictive personality, I'm trying to get help, and actually came, like, out with it, I think like a lot of like no all the detractors aren't going to just give up and okay, fine. And like no, he'd still get pushed back by a lot of people, but I think some detractors would lessen up on him a little bit, at least about this issue. I mean, no one's going away, even if he admitted it. No, like obviously no one's going to go away, but at least in this issue, I think some people would ease up on him. Like, okay, well, he confessed. That's mostly what people wanted. I feel. I don't know, but he's never going to do that.
Just like you said,
because he can't.
I send you this screenshot
because he's always right.
Care. They will not care.
It honestly it depends, right?
Yeah, I don't agree with you. I don't agree at all. There's people out there that would
he would like, never have released the WWE information shocked, because that's his account.
Because I don't think
Down from the Rafters is his account. He couldn't have given him any other account.
I think that I mean,
and yeah,
I don't know how many people who
I don't even know what it's up to anymore,
or can even trust Craig, or think that you.
And that's something else I want you guys to keep in mind. Like TJ Gamebox and other people are keeping track of his WWE Champions account, but they're only keeping count of WWE Champions. What other games is he playing that aren't being kept track of? Like he admitted he was playing that new Street Fighter that new Street Fighter mobile game. How much money has he spent on that? And then he just so happened to have sorry, hold on. He just so happened to have Bison. Bison? I almost said Biden. Jesus Christ. Yeah. The super rare SSR rank Biden fighter. With his special move, destroy the economy. Oh my gosh. No, Bison, which like apparently is like extremely rare to get if you don't pay money for it. Like extremely rare or something. But so like he's probably spending a ton of money on fucking that Street Fighter mobile game too, but no one's keeping count of that. So yeah, he's spending a lot of fucking money.
Be like, oh, he photoshopped it. He edited out
exactly
his thing.
1,000,000%. That's
whatever.
That's the explanation.
So
I photoshopped it today.
So FaceTime with him. FaceTime him, pull it up, and Craig will be like, we FaceTimed. And he opened I saw him open the app. I mean, there's ways around it that Craig would be like, I saw him do it live. Right? I mean,
okay.
There's ways around that.
I will. Can I tell you a quick story as to why I am so not convinced that anything I do will help at all? Can I please just tell you a story? Will you bear with me for a couple minutes?
It's your show, Phil, man. Yeah, absolutely. Go crazy.
It's not my show. It's your show.
Our show, Craig.
Well, listen, we provided you a platform for you to do it. And listen, you have thousands of people ready to listen to you right now. So
by the way, you guys have been great. You've been great interviewers. You've been completely fair with me. You've given me thank you. You guys have been the fairest shake I've ever gotten on the internet right now. Seriously, and you should be commended for being as neutral. I know you're saying he's trying to get a confession out of me. I don't feel that way. I don't feel pressured.
No, he's trying to help you. That's really what I'm saying. But he sounded like it. So.
All right. And the thing is, he's not going to get a confession because I'm telling you, it's what I'm telling you.
I know, but it's clearly Craig trying to help.
Okay.
So
here's the story. Okay. When I was first talking with my now wife, okay, I was so scared that people were going to harass her or do things. We didn't live near each other. We had online communication. After talking for several months, we started dating. Okay, she flew out here on her own dime, by the way. It's another conspiracy that I paid for that way. No, that's not true. Started dating.
We got the escort saga. See, guys, they were right about what they were. They were wrong about one thing, so that must mean they're wrong about everything because they're wrong about one thing. Even though he was still paying a chick to come spend time with him. It doesn't matter that it was his girlfriend. He's still technically spending money to fly someone out there to spend money with him. So that doesn't matter. And then on top of that, when he was living with her, he forced her off of all kinds of social media, forced her to close her YouTube channel, and then said, I dare you guys to find out information on her. He was basically like issuing a stance on Facebook. No, oh my God, what the hell am I talking about? He was basically like issuing a challenge is what I meant. He's issuing a challenge online saying, I dare you guys to try to find information on her. And that's what they did in a pretty short amount of time. Basically doxing her information too, because he laid down the challenge for the detractors, and they did that because he's an idiot and he doesn't care about her.
17.
She's always been a shield, and she always will be a shield
I just
to
took a
him.
picture of her back, decorating my Christmas tree, saying, here's someone nice who's in my life now. My life has changed because I had previously been in a relationship that was very public, and sadly it turned out toxic. We broke up in 2016, or excuse me, early 2017. So this was like something new and positive that I wanted to share with everyone, but I was apprehensive about showing her face or anything. So all I showed was her back, decorating my Christmas tree. I talked about what we did when she visited. We made some brownies together. We did this, we did that. Very, very basic stuff. I'm not making this up. It's documented. You can look this up on the internet.
And you're the one who took pictures and put it out there anyway, though.
People, my haters, made up an
and your
entire
ex was
fabricated
underage
story
anyway.
about that was not someone I was dating. That was an escort that I was paying. The money that I was bringing in on streams, I was paying for a European escort and flying this escort across the globe to spend Christmas with me. All right.
Well,
they had evidence.
What does that have to do with anything, though?
Well, let's continue. Okay. They had
Okay.
evidence of it, documented evidence. Oh, look at this. There's a whole social media account of it, of the escort. Here's the logs of plane tickets. Here's the recipe for the brownies. It's well documented. Everyone said I was guilty. I maintained my innocence for about 3-4 months. As she
The
continued
one
to visit me,
thing
and we
detractors
got a
were
relationship
sort of
blossom and all
wrong
that.
on.
Eventually, she moves in with me. Okay?
Sort of.
What
They're
ends up happening
technically
is,
still correct.
Guess what?
He
The whole
was
thing was fake.
giving her
It was all
money
my haters.
to
They had
fly
made the whole
out to visit
situation
him
up.
and spend time with him.
Now, hold on.
Is that
because-
not an escort?
Because you're talking about the narrative. The narrative is that your detractors actually cleared you of that and said,
And they
like, no, this
did.
doesn't add up. Right? They're looking for evidence of this thing.
Because there was some escort, like some lady who was trying to, like some European couple that was actually trying to scam him or something and trying to like get money off of him. I can't remember the right word for it, but they're trying to scam him and get money off of him, and he so like they cleared him of it. So yeah,
adding up, and they're
After the fact.
and they're the ones who apparently
After
put
the
the
fact.
evidence out that said, like, hey, this is
yeah,
not,
they admitted
not
they
the
were
case.
wrong.
That's fair. What happened was for 3-4 months, they're making my life a living hell, just like with this WWE Champions thing. Phil is guilty. Look at all this evidence. It's all there. It's outright. And then, basically, when she moved in with me, well, now what are they going to do? Now the narrative has to change, okay? So now they figure it out. It's fake. You're right. They did research. They found out it's these two people in Europe who apparently they do this all the time with other streamers. There was even a possibility they were going to try to extort me for money, try to get them to shut up about it or something, okay? So, to give you some perspective, did anything change positively when that was disproved? No, nothing. They were on to the next thing already. They had already created 2-3 more narratives that they went on to. This is something concrete, almost exactly parallel to the situation. All this evidence corroborating.
And because
evidence
they were
proving that it was
wrong
real, was
in
real, was
one
real.
instance,
And
they
then all of a
must be
sudden,
wrong with
we found out it was
everything,
fake. Oh, well,
even
move on
though
to the
they
next.
admitted they were
There was
wrong about
someone
this. But there's
who made a
way more
video
evidence
about it,
for you
okay?
WWE
You
champions
probably
than
know
there
him,
was about
Craig,
the
you
escort
watched the
thing.
secret limited video about the $100,000.
I sure did.
You watched it. Secret Limited is someone who once a year makes a very negative video about me, highlights all my mistakes, puts it into one video. They made a video documenting this. They called it the escort saga. Okay, the thumbnail for the video was me.
He's still
my
pissed off
ex,
about
I don't
that.
know why she was in it, and the escort's face, supposedly who it was. This gets disproven 3-4 months later. Did my detractors say, sorry about that, Phil, mea culpa, we made a big mistake, let's forget? No. You want to know what he did? This is the same guy who made the WWE Champions video. He took the face of the escort and put a horse's head on it, and he said, my wife looks like a horse.
She does.
He never took the video down. He
It's
never
the fucking
apologized.
internet, though.
It's
I know.
Come on,
But this is what I
man.
mean. When these things get proven wrong, oh, move on to the next. It's just the next thing. I will send. I will.
So
send
wait.
you a
So what does
screenshot,
this
I
have
will
to
a
do with
face-
it, though?
Because I will disprove anything, and they will just move on to the next. It will never end. That's what I mean.
So it's the internet. So who fucking cares then?
So then why even bother? Why bother with any of it? And that's the attitude I've taken. Now, Adam, you just hit it dead on the head. Because this is the attitude I take now. This was not supposed to be an interview, right? I was just supposed to be a guest on your show. It wasn't my intention to ever come out and have it be like this. On my streams, we don't have this.
You
That's why I wanted
wanted
this to
the
be, and
interview
it'll be
like
all you
this,
want my
Phil.
actual
You wanted
answers
to
on this stuff,
clear
you
the
watch
air of
show,
everything.
and that's the last thing I'm talking about, right? So
God.
this is off my streams. I'm making content. I just want to be left alone. They won't leave me alone. They're the ones who continue the narrative. I'm
Because you
without
keep
it.
lying.
It's the internet. It's going to go
and
on
you keep
forever.
scamming.
So then why even bother? Why disprove anything? It's on to the next anyway. So once I disprove WWE champions at great personal risk, okay, on to the next. And by the way, now something might happen to me because I exposed myself. So that's why I don't care about it anymore. I've really become, in the 15 years I've been a content creator, I have become so desensitized to this stuff. It's like, what's the next one? I don't care anymore.
If you truly don't care, then you won't bother sending him a screenshot. Because it doesn't matter to you then.
It doesn't matter either way. If
Well,
anything,
then it doesn't.
if
Then
I
who
send,
cares?
if
Fuck
I
it then.
send Craig the screenshot, it would be out of like respect that he gave me his time today.
I guess you don't respect him then.
Well,
We all
that's
know you don't
something to
respect
think
him
about.
now.
That's a lot of
You
trust,
called him
too,
the
because,
dumbest
again,
motherfucker
I'm not
online
saying
because
Craig
he
would
wanted to
ever
play
do
a game
anything
of Street Fighter with you.
dishonest or expose me. I'm telling you, there's been times
Exposed.
this exact situation has happened,
Exposed.
and then something bad has happened to me because I did it.
I haven't. I'll tell you this. I haven't done anything to dissuade your trust or lose
No,
your
you haven't.
trust. So look. Ultimately, this is your call, but the offer's there, and
Yo,
I know you said you
wake-up
didn't
call.
want to do anything, with your phone during this. Respect that. That's fine. But you realize that by leaving the door open, by even doing this after the stream, there still allows the opportunity. It goes back to the picture didn't happen. Like if somebody sees you pick up your phone right now on stream, you were to then email it to me right now on stream, and it was this was to happen literally right now in real time as people were watching.
It's
all
on his
done.
bucket list. It's on his
all
bucket
done.
list.
But
Seriously, it's like number 3 on Craig's bucket list for that to happen right now.
well,
I'm just saying.
but once again, I think this is all done. It's all done. It's all done. All right, let's continue on, man.
Bro, Phil, how the fuck
Oh Lord.
did you not know the camera was on? You know what I'm
Well,
talking about.
I wasn't going to talk about this, but
I did. What the fuck, man? I mean, come
Dude,
on.
Sadly, when it happened, I tried to
What the
spin
fuck?
it. I tried to spin it in a very
You
positive light, and
denied
I
it, Phil.
rolled with
Oh
it.
my
It's one of
God.
the rare times where I learned.
Okay, Phil, when it first happened, he was doing everything he could to deny that. I was scratching my leg. I was.
my leg,
I'm like,
roll
no,
with
you
it
were
and
fucking
it'll go
denying
away.
it, Phil. Shut
It never
up.
went away, but at least people, it's just something funny now, right? Imagine if I had reacted to that the same way I reacted to "This Is How You Don't Play." Like that would have been the end for me. Like, if this guy, what's he gonna say? He didn't do it, or whatever. Of course, it happened. It's something stupid. But the truthful story, sadly, is not happy. Okay. Here's the truth. I've told it before, but never in this context. So in 2016, it was probably the second worst year of my life. Everything was falling apart in my personal life. I moved out here to Washington. I used to live in Connecticut my whole life. I moved to Washington in 2014 with my then girlfriend. Our relationship was great. Over the course of 2 years of systematic harassment on the internet, being swatted, doxxed, all this stuff, her family members being harassed, my family members being harassed, our whole relationship fell apart. Okay? In 2016, I was living with her, and we had
It
two
was my
separate lives.
depression,
It was like
dude.
two roommates rather than a romantic relationship. It was messed
That's
up.
how it is
Like,
now,
we were
too.
supposed to be together, and we're really not.
We're
It got
supposed to
the
be
point
together.
where
We're
she went off
destined
and
to
had
be
her own life.
together,
She had her own
dude.
friends, her own job. I was doing my thing, but no one knew this. Everyone thought everything was fine. We pretended, we smiled.
No, we could
whatever.
tell. You
No one knew
could
that.
tell. You look
I was
back at
depressed.
those
I
videos
was
back
really
then, you
messed up
could
in the
kind
head
of
at that
tell.
point. The way that I saw it was, this room was the
Oh my
only place in the
God.
house where she never went. She never came in here. Okay, so this room.
Oh,
was
'cause it
like
smelled
my
so
safe
bad.
Space. I know that sounds stupid, but it was like, this is the one place I can be away from that.
Be away
And I
from
can
that
have my own
bitch.
safe place. And in particular, I couldn't tell you the
particular?
specific day what had happened, but I guarantee you it was something awful had happened, an argument, a fight, whatever it was. And I came in here, and back then, I was very different. Today I'm professional. I have layouts blocking the screen and everything. Back then, I
He,
just
oh
had,
my God, he really thinks
you
he's
got a-
Like a
fucking
couch in the corner
professional.
that you
Exactly,
can
there's
go
a
do
da- I
that.
had-
Go do that
this-
now.
Yeah, so I had
He
the
really thinks
camera
he's
had been left
professional.
on
Jesus
from the day before. Back then, I didn't do face cam like I do today. Today, this is a common thing to have the face cam on every single stream.
Which
Back
you
then, it was
don't need
rare. I only did it
anyway.
For like FromSoft games where I was going to get really upset. People like to see
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
that dark side Phil character. I left it on.
And then
So
he
I come
admits
in
he's
here
a
and I'm
character
feeling
right
like shit. I
there.
feel awful, like
Which is it, Phil? Are
probably
you a
depressed,
character or
awful thing.
not?
And I you know, I beat one off to relieve myself before a stream. And then it's all over the internet. And I'm like, oh, the camera was on, huh?
The camera's been on
So
the whole
it's
time, huh?
depression.
Oops. It was part of
Essentially.
it. It was definitely part of it. Like, obviously, you don't sit down in front of a, why would you even do that? I mean, what an idiot to do that, even in a situation. But it was probably
Yes, you are an
something so
idiot.
horrible.
I
They'll argue
agree.
There's many of those.
So you
those
said
days.
the camera was on, and then you started the stream and then did that, or like you were prepping for a stream, but the camera was on, so it just happened.
Yes. So basically, I
I
turned
have a
on
question.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to walk my through. Okay. What was the lead time between starting the stream and completion? Because that's pretty fucking impressive.
Oh right, I forgot. If you put an emote
Not
in the
long.
chat,
Not
like it just
long, man.
erases
It
the whole
was,
chat
you know,
for some
I
reason.
would turn on the stream. I call it the pre-stream roll or whatever. So you had
No,
the secret
I don't-
message.
I really don't care.
I
really
call
don't care.
it
I really don't care.
the pre-stream.
The
roll.
pre-stream roll.
the pre-stream
Oh my
fappening.
God.
Oh Lord. All right.
So it's
that's
a normal
awesome.
thing.
No, it's not. Obviously, no. It was.
You've got a name for it, Phil. You
No,
got
no,
a name
no.
for it.
The time that I turn on the stream to let people come into the stream.
Oh, thank
is called
God.
the pre-stream.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
That's not a
'cause-
routine I do.
No, Panda was asking for it, man. You look at some of those like vacation vlogs and stuff. She was begging him for sex. She really was. And like like he just had no interest whatsoever. Like she was literally like having a butt up in the air on the bed that one time. And he's like, so look over here and oh look, it has a nice painting on the wall. Like he had no interest whatsoever in her. And she wanted it too. For some damn reason, at least in the beginning of the relationship, she wanted that.
Every day. No,
That's-
And
I
I'm
mean,
telling
it'd be
you,
a
he
hell of a
has like
pre-show. I'm
low
just
T or
saying.
something.
So
you
here's the
could
thing,
probably,
here's the-
hey, you could monetize as our friends from Geeks and Gamers say. You could monetize the haters. You could
Right.
start a wicked OnlyFans, Phil. I'm just saying a wicked OnlyFans.
Oh,
and
jeez.
here's the narrative. Here's the truth of the matter. First of all, it took place on YouTube, not on Twitch. All right. There was maybe 20, 30 people there when it happened because I just turned the stream on. Right. And it was right, laptop in front of me or whatever. Camera's on. So embarrassing.
My
But what's
question is, what
narrative
the hell
now?
he was looking
Darkside
at,
Phil
though.
masturbated in front of thousands of people, including small children, on the internet,
that voice
live on
crack
Twitch,
there.
and didn't get banned for it. When did that happen?
Well,
It was-
CNN rehired Tubin after he jerked it in a friggin' Zoom meeting. So I
Right.
mean, things can happen, dog. You know.
Thankfully, the camera was not panned down. That would have been very, very bad. Thank God it was, the angle that it was at. No one wants to see.
Okay. Oh,
Anyway.
so it doesn't
All right.
it doesn't show anything because I haven't seen it and I
Oh
don't
no,
want to see
it's
it.
it's actually like from the neck up, and it's kind of
no,
just like
no.
me tilting my head back and looking
Yeah,
at my
oh,
asshole.
okay,
That's
so
It's just the
My
sweet
O
relief.
face. It's just my O
hey
face.
man,
That's it.
there's been worse videos of prominent YouTubers with their heels above their heads, and it's been worse.
But I'm the
Wow.
one. That's sadly that's the association a lot.
But
of people
I'm the
always have
one.
with me.
I'm
Is
the
that
guy.
That's how I became known on the internet in 2016. And,
All right,
How am I ever going to live that down? If anything, here's what I learned from it. That's going to always, no matter what these idiots say about me, that's always going to be my most embarrassing moment.
All right, you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna give you some advice. All right, I want to give you some advice right now. You need to own it, and you need to have a box of tissues behind you
And a t-shirt.
as a fucking
Like-
joke, dude. Troll
Yeah.
them back.
Here's
Fuck
the
it.
I mean, yeah, like, ain't that kind of what Rich from Review Tech USA did? Like, he knows he's a lolcow, he accepts that, and he profits from it. He's like, I mean, he's not the greatest example, obviously, but at least he like runs with a joke and can laugh at himself about it. And because he does that, he makes money off of his detractors as well for doing that. But DSP is too proud. He has too much ego. That won't allow him to do that though.
thing. Here, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. However,
Yeah.
However,
again, you have to
go fuck
understand
yourself.
something. We're joking about it. It's funny to joke about it and own it, but actually, it's
and now
representative
he's gonna
of
turn it
really bad
around and
time
be
of
like,
life. You know what I'm saying?
it
Like,
ruined
Okay,
my
that makes
life,
sense. Yeah,
guys.
sure,
My
sure.
wife
Depressing
is
thing, my
downstairs
wife
crying.
Doesn't ever want to talk about it. She knew.
Hey.
Think about this. She met me after, and
Get
she
it?
still likes me. She married me
Yeah.
after that.
Look at
so
that.
Obviously,
She
she's
still
she
likes
doesn't want to talk about it.
me.
It's like, Why am I going to
Phil,
monetize the most
Phil.
embarrassing moment?
Phil,
You know.
beat. Damn it, that would have sounded so bad.
Yes.
I was gonna say beat your demons, but in this context,
Pretty good. Pretty
it's
good.
like shit. I mean, conquer your demons. You know what I mean? Like that. You're like, I don't want to like go there, but it's like, no, fuck that.
Right.
Like face it and you know, conquer your demons. I didn't mean to make that pun. That was unintentional, but it was so good. But you know what I'm saying, right? I'm trying to like. You
Yes.
say you don't want to go there, but like
You're not
conquer
the only
it,
person
dude.
who said
Own
that.
it. Own it. Own that shit.
The
Yeah,
problem
Review
is,
Tech told you that too.
again, when you focus on a focal point like that and it becomes your end all be all, I don't want that to be what I'm remembered for. It probably will.
What are you going to be
but I want
remembered
people
for,
who
Phil?
come to my content every day to remember that awesome stream they had or that cool gameplay. Through that
They're
they did.
not going to
I don't
remember
want people to think
that.
about the guy who had an old face beat off on stream. Like,
Sorry,
it's
Phil.
so
You're always
stupid.
going to
And
remember
it's
it
such a
as
dumb
the
thing that I've
guy.
moved past. I'm
The
not
guy
in
who
that part of my
fapped on
life anymore. I'm
stream.
so much happier now that I don't need to dwell on the past anymore. I don't need to think about that moment. It was stupid, and yeah, I
Well, I'll
don't
say
want
this,
to be there forever.
If you're not going to monetize it, we will. Later tonight, the
Ugh.
Beat Your Demons t-shirt will be available all on the store.
Oh my god! And it's no, that's terrible,
I'm
dude.
totally good. Totally good. I thought it was really funny. All right.
Oh my goodness.
So there's a few things that I want to circle back with you on, Phil. Phil, you still there? You look like you're frozen.
Oh, here he goes. He got
I hope
DDoS
not.
attack. We're at that
Well,
point.
if he drops, well, he can come back in. Yeah, he does look frozen and such. But
I was just kidding. I
Of
mean,
course.
I couldn't help the puns. They wrote themselves.
Phil, make sure you pop back in. I'm sure that he will. I doubt that he quit because he would have been dropped from the thing. It's definitely an internet issue of some sort.
Must
So
be frozen.
I do not think that he rage quit or anything like that. So Phil, you can just pop back in whenever you're ready, and we'll keep going. But there are a few things that I want to circle back on, mainly on the 5K. Okay, let's see, he dropped, so he'll pop back in. I do want to circle back on the business
Yeah,
expenses.
I think he might be like he
Phil
was like
kinda
too
stirred
fed
that
up with the
question a
whole
little bit.
Beat Your
We didn't
Demons
really
thing,
get,
and maybe he just like
the idea of,
pulled the plug on.
I don't know,
Can't
man,
go over there and pull that little
if we can have a little one-to-one here. I feel like there's just so much here that doesn't
that
add
little
up,
amplifier
you know?
bullshit thing that he had.
Man, I
But yeah,
I mean,
like
I
some
don't
of
believe
his
him.
fans, I do feel kind of bad for. Like
don't.
Jade, I
There's
think is
too
kind of
many-
innocent. I don't
too
think
many
he
things. I mean, I caught
knows
him
any better. And he
lie, and
like
then
a
he
lot of
admitted,
them have been
like,
kind of like
a minute later
brainwashed.
that I was right. And it's
But
just
some
like,
of his
man,
fans are also total
that
pieces
your
of
whole
shit too,
credibility
like
was
OIC
already
and stuff.
shaky,
So it's like,
and-
some of them I do
Right,
feel
I
bad
don't
for.
know. I mean, I'm
Because they
not
are
saying
being
this now
abused.
because he's not
They
here.
really
I
are.
mean, you guys, I've been
And
very
some of them
blunt
don't deserve
to
that.
his face. I'm not gonna like, you know, if he hears me, it's not like I mean, I straight up told him I didn't believe him about that joke that he made, and it's just like, dude, that's such bullshit, you know. So,
Well, while we have a second, hopefully Phil's going to rejoin us. I did want to thank everybody for your super chats today, and I see a
All
lot of
that is
people
not a
buying
gimmick. That's
merchandise,
just
and,
him. That's
it's
just real
genuinely
Phil.
greatly
Phil is not
appreciated.
actually playing a
I appreciate
character.
everybody
This is just who
allowing
he
us
is.
to have this
You can't
conversation. I
hide who
appreciate
he
Phil
is.
allowing us to have this conversation with him.
honestly, I got to give him props, dude.
Yes.
Because it's not easy to fucking do what he just did. I wasn't being easy on him, and I wasn't going to, because I said earlier, you know, I'm an honest asshole, dude. Like if I don't know you and I'm like, and there's shit, and you know, it's a serious situation, like I'll get serious. Like,
Yeah.
this is the most serious show we've ever had on this channel, right? We're constantly laughing, and like when you said you were going to bring him on, you read his email that he said you could read publicly, and it seemed like he just wanted to be joining and doing a regular show, and it kind of evolved through the weeks of it's going to be an interview, and now
And he
we've done
wanted
this-
it that
this
way.
interview
He
today,
was
and,
telling.
I mean,
Phil says,
it was tough.
right.
I mean, he told them that he wanted this interview to be the end all be all, and that he can point to people who bring up these questions to go look at this video for all the answers, and then he provides no evidence to prove his innocence whatsoever.
Well, I'll say this. Phil just emailed me.
And he just looks
said,
terrible on it.
Hey, I'm still here. I might be getting DDoS. Not sure. So
Uh-huh.
I will say this. Look, we do have. So while we have a second and Phil's not with us, I'm actually going to invite somebody to the chat right now. Keemstar is going to join us to give his side of the thing. And
shit,
when Phil hops in,
Oh my god.
we'll see. Like I said, I don't want to make this weird for Phil.
Yeah, like I don't really like side scrollers that much anyway. I really hate the whole monetize the haters bullshit because like that's just like them taking advantage. Obviously, they're just taking advantage of whatever like I don't want to echo Phil because like I fucking hate that he might be a little right in that, but they are trying to take advantage. I feel a little too much, and the whole monetize the haters thing. They did a good job for the actual interview, for what the interview is. They did a good job though, because if it was just Craig if it wasn't for Adam, the interview would have gone south. Like they needed Adam there to ask the tough questions. So the actual interview itself was not bad, but at the end of the day, they're all douchebags, and especially with the whole fucking Melanie Mac and Travis, and I think what was the other tipster, like that whole bullshit, like. And then the whole Review Tech Tuesday versus Travis, and like that was all bullshit. And they're like, oh, they act like it's such a I mean it is because racism is bad. They pressed fucking on Phil really hard, but they just laughed it off when Melanie Mac was doing this like extremely homophobic joke, which it wasn't a joke. It was just her being homophobic, and they just gave her a free pass because of that. It's like obviously.
But I do think that while we have a second, we'll bring Keemstar in. Keemstar has the link, and he should be joining us any minute.
Oh my God, this is.
I will say this. Guys. I appreciate everybody staying with us. And while we have you for a second, I want to remind you guys we do have some other guests coming up, including Mark the Cyborg and James Rolfe, the Angry Video Gamer. They're coming up here in the next few weeks. If you guys are new, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, of course, and come join us. We are a daily podcast Monday through Friday.
And then didn't like Adam leave side scrollers after shortly after this anyway?
Really
I'm not sure. I never watched any other side scroller stuff other than this. And
but joining us now,
I gotta say, I really didn't mean to make that
Craig's streams after the fact to see what he was saying.
I couldn't stop laughing, and I jeez.
All right, Keemstar is joining us. Hello, Keemstar. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Good. It's nice to meet you. You guys have absolutely crushed this. I think you've done more than a fair job with Phil here, and especially like how difficult he is. But with him talking about the $50,000 offer and the lolcow podcast, I just really wanted to get on to say my piece because he's just dishonest. And I think you guys experienced this, right? He had an opportunity to clear his name so easily, and he just put it off and made excuse, and then goes on to bring up some other situation with hookers and some other lies. And it's like every content creator has been lied about, right? But in this one issue where he could just prove his innocence so quick and he doesn't take advantage of it, then it's like, and
I told him it's just making you more sus, like that. It's making me trust your story less. That you're not like, you know what? I want to fucking prove this shit. Like, I'm sick of these lies. Let's prove it, you know?
Well, I'll say this. Look, Keem, we appreciate you hopping on. Phil has rejoined us. Phil said he didn't want to be on the show if you were on it. So I'll say, can we invite you back on after we're done with Phil?
Sure. Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. I appreciate it. Okay. We're going to bring Phil back on. We don't want to make things weird. So appreciate you understanding, man. And you have the link. I'll DM you when we're ready. Okay, buddy?
Sounds good.
Thank you, Keem. Appreciate it, man.
Like, I don't have an issue with them making money, but it's just extremely cringe.
Phil, welcome back, man. Sorry, we had
like,
a second.
Monetize the haters, dude. Like, no one's going to do that.
So,
Come on.
We appreciate you running with it, man.
It's just very cringeworthy, and it's just kind of...
Everything okay?
I don't know.
No,
I have absolutely no idea what just happened. My whole internet went down and came back up.
And I don't see why any, like,
ISP or if I've just
any detractors should give him money out. Like, give them money.
I've never, to my
at least now, like after the fact,
this one,
like during the interview, it makes sense why they would, and like I get that. Because they did a good job for the actual interview, but like even after the fact, like
it's not.
There was the whole recent thing with the side scrollers.
Let's circle back on some stuff here, man. And
did I miss anything?
Twitter and all that shit. And
yeah,
there was a
recent few things that
Starter and Craig did his own like
and I feel like
stream after the fact. He's like, I'm gonna wait for DSP to invite me to come onto a stream. I'm like, that's not gonna happen, dude. What are you doing?
But we didn't really get an answer. right? Like,
Mhm.
and this kind of all ties in together. The idea of like, as somebody who works online, I've been doing this for a long time as well. I understand that spending $5K on anything is a lot, and the idea of a mortgage being a business expense, that's not necessarily true. You can from a
Again, I
tax
don't know.
perspective, you can allow me to tell you, because from a tax perspective, you can take the square footage of your office space in your house, and that can be deductible, right? And you can use that as a business expense.
And that's
You can
exactly
take
what
the
he
internet
did.
and
He
do those
takes
things.
every single thing he can and uses it for a business expense. Like his house, his car, his electric bill, his gas bill, his food. He probably does all that for his
But
business
your entire house, your
expense.
entire mortgage is not something that can
Probably
be
does, though.
a business expense, right? So with
I didn't think
all
that
of,
was legal. I don't think that's legal.
right, it's not. It's not the way it goes. But with all that said, I feel like there's with everything lined up, right? There's still a lot. Like, are you spending that money on food, or what are you spending that money on it? Because you can pay for meals out and things
exactly,
like
Jay.
that.
I'm
As long as
not
you
going to give
technically
them
talk
money.
about business.
Like I would
like
rather like
I've done that
sub or become a
hundreds of
member
times,
to like
where you go out-
actual
you
like
go out to a meal
hardworking
and you say, well, we're
detractors.
gonna have a
Not these
business
guys.
meeting, and it's just you and your wife talking about whatever, right? It's it's just one of those things. But walk me through once again, like what are your month-to-month business expenses? What are you paying for as a streamer who works 12 hours
I'm
a
trying
day?
to find a good spot to end
Kinda
this
walk me
because
through
I am
this.
getting kind of hungry
again,
though.
I could tell you what
So,
I'm doing now.
I think I
and
might
we're
have to
talking- what people are
end
referencing
it
is something
sometime
from,
soon,
2019,
unfortunately.
I think, right? Is that a tax return for my
Well,
bankruptcy
but
proceeding?
It'll have to
but I
be
want to
a
know about
part
today.
3.
I want to know about today. Like your expenses that you have on a month-to-month basis. What do those look like? Are your
Okay.
expenses?
You know what? How about this? Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Oh
do your
my
thing.
god, I remember this
This
part.
should be fun. All right, Phil is off, and it looks like I wonder what this could be a surprise. We'll see what happens. So.
I'm
He's
an
got
old man.
this little piece
Yes.
of paper.
I do something that
And
no
I
one
have
else
my
does.
little
I use
bills.
paper and I write on it to track things. No one
Okay,
else
now-
does this, right?
Now hold on, Phil. Before you show anything,
What
I
an
want to
Oh, I'm
make
not going
sure.
to show. I'm going to read.
Okay.
I'm going to read some things.
Oh, no,
I'm not
no,
gonna
I'm
show
just gonna
anything.
tell you
I'm gonna
all
read some
about it.
things. What
On
I'd
this
like to
blank
do
piece of paper
is kind of go
that I
through
wrote
here,
with
'cause
crayons.
People
This
say
is
every day,
bills.
where does your money go? That's what you're asking, right? Where
Yeah.
does the money go? That's coming in. I will.
Where's the
100
5K in
Uh-oh.
business
You guys
expenses,
are trying to
Phil?
tell me
No,
it's
you're
not
good. You're
2,000.
good. You're good. You're
I'm
good. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Here we go. I'm going to go through this. I'm not exaggerating. Line
I'm
for
not
line, this is what I'm
exaggerating,
paying this
says
month.
someone who
And
would
this is
exaggerate.
Where
Please.
all my money goes, plus a few other things. Okay, and this is literally all of it.
God.
Great.
Derek is this tax guy. What
I have a subscription to Hulu. It's $10 a month.
Business
Sorry.
expense. Okay.
Definitely not a business expense. I'm just saying this is where my money goes. This is everything. I'm serious. I'm going to cover it all.
Okay. Sure.
I have my internet. I have 2 internet lines that I pay for. They're
which
very
you
expensive
don't
'cause
need.
they're
You can
unlimited
only
internet.
have one.
It's
It'll be
not an hourly-
fine.
It's like you have to pay a ton of money.
Hourly? Who pays for hourly internet?
No, not hourly. I said unlimited.
Oh, I thought you said. Okay.
You said
I'm sorry, I meant to say
hourly.
data rates, not hourly. My
Got
bad.
it.
Data rates. You know how much you use.
Oh my god.
I have my dues here where I live. I live in a community, a condo facility
A
community. so it's
gated
dues,
community,
monthly dues.
dude.
I've got. Let's see here.
I mean,
Game Pass.
but you're reading off personal expenses, and that's no one's business.
Right.
I'm reading
It's-
off
it-
everything.
it-
I don't care. I'm reading off
Well,
everything so you know where my money
so-
goes. Because this is what they want. They
So
want
he has
to-
no problem supposedly doing this, but oh my god, I can't show you the account name for a crappy mobile game that I may or may not play. Oh, he admitted he plays it, so I can't show you the account name for one game that I play, but I can show you all these different bills that I have to pay every single day. Does that make any sense? Oh, but if I have to show you guys the account name for a mobile game that I play, I have to talk it over with my wife. We need to discuss this. We got to keep, because it's my family, and we got to be safe. I got to keep it safe for my family, guys, and all that. Oh, so I spend this much on electric bill and the dues and all this personal information. Oh, but the account name for the game? Oh, no.
all my money goes. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think it was about the $5,000, the business expenses that they were like, what is going on with this? Like, how is this the case? So you're now giving them more shit when you were very seemingly very nervous about giving anyone any more information that isn't public. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to, before you continue, it just seems like this is counterintuitive for where you have said your stance is on like revealing public information. So like,
well, I'm not going to tell you any account name. I'm not going to tell
yeah,
you
no, I
businesses or
understand.
anything.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
get
I'm saying?
that, but still, it's still personal stuff that it's like, all right, well, I don't understand what. That's not what the subject was about. It
Right.
was about the business expenses.
Right.
These aren't business expenses that you're reading off. This is personal stuff.
Some of this would be considered business, and some wouldn't. You know, like I was just gonna say, Game Pass. That's.
But what's the
that's-
point? Is kind of where I'm leaning. Like, what is the reason for giving us your personal expenses?
Because people want to know where my money goes. You're asking me
Your business, the business
Okay,
expense
you're
money. That's what
specifically
they're
asking me-
talking about.
You're
That's what I've
specifically
seen
asking-
on the internet.
They
That's
were
what I've seen
also
that people are
asking you
upset.
for your
There's the
WWE
business
Champions account name,
expenses,
but you
the
can't do
5,000, and
that.
then like I don't know where this like $500,000 thing is or what that even is. But there's some questions.
$500,000.
Yeah, I don't know.
Holy shit.
I heard. I've seen. I didn't look into that much because I
$500,000 is how much he spent in WWE Champions. The $5,000 a month in business expense is what he claimed on his bankruptcy hearing. Is how much he cost him to run his business supposedly, which
have
is
multiple
bullshit.
shows that I do, and I couldn't dedicate too much to learning about you, so I figured I'd come and just hear from you, But like, that's from what I've seen, it's the business expenses that's what people want to know about. Like, how are you spending that much money on the business?
Here's the thing: if you were to nickel and dime every single transaction I do, when it comes to like video games and stuff like that, I don't think it gets close to that. I think I don't know how it was divvied out in those, in that report or whatever they used for the bankruptcy. I don't know how it's calculated. I'm not my bankruptcy attorney. I'm not my CPA. I know it's done right because I went through it with the bankruptcy judge line by line. So
Is
I know
that
it's
where
correct.
that large number comes from? Is the bankruptcy number like how much debt you had?
Oh,
I'm just
maybe.
I'm trying to
maybe.
take a. Oh, I mean, you know, right? I mean, if that's what
I don't know the total number of debt.
seems like a pretty big moment in your life that you would know.
I know. I never. It's not a milestone. Oh man, I'm so happy I got $500,000 off my back.
I'm not
Oh,
saying
no.
it's a good milestone.
No,
but
it's a horrible milestone. Something I want to move past and forget and get put in the past. But I don't know. Maybe that's what that number is. But again, I don't know. I can't go line item by line item. I don't know. It's from years and years ago. And guys, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
you
good.
froze again.
You're good.
Jesus.
You're good.
Keeps
You're good.
freezing.
You're
Yeah,
good.
okay.
Well, they call me Mr.
that's me.
Freeze, so
Well, that's his business
Okay.
class internet for
But
you,
yeah,
I
but
guess.
can't-
I don't
I
know.
don't have that. I don't know. I would assume. This is my assuming.
This
that
is my
data
assuming because I'm an
includes
idiot.
Anything that's considered associated with the business or not, I don't know. Again, I
I
can
don't
without going through it, because I'm not going to go through all of it anyway. That would be exposure to talk about all that stuff. I feel. Okay. A couple things that no one knows. I guess I have to. I don't want to do this.
What are you talking
I
about?
really don't want to do this, but again, I
Phil,
get-
Phil, you do what you're comfortable with, man. I think that's the biggest thing. Is
I really
you
don't want to.
like.
Let me go put the paper away. I'm going to tell you. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
All right. I don't want to talk about shit, but I have to.
We
It
have to
sucks.
talk about
That's
no,
not
you
the
don't.
solution,
You,
man.
you
You
said
don't
you
have
said
to,
like
idiot.
30 minutes ago. You
Now
don't
he's
give a
trying to
shit,
pretend to
and it
play the
doesn't make a
victim,
difference.
basically, is
So
what he's doing.
pick a point. Pick a place to stand.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
Either you don't
Pick
give
a
a shit and you're gonna
pick a
move on
pack of pickled
and let the
peppers.
haters hate you no matter what because there's nothing you could do, or try to appease them. It's not. You can't be somewhere in the middle where you're
I
like,
don't-
I might appease you. I might
Adam-
actually do this. I'll think about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Adam,
it's
I don't care
one
about
or the
that.
other.
Adam,
I care about
Adam,
you guys.
oh.
I care
So you're
about my
sit-
viewers. I care about
Right.
these neutral parties out there who've heard so much nasty stuff about me. At
That
least have
are
a place
true.
to listen and hear my side. That's what this is. And I appreciate you guys so much for giving me this time.
Oh my god, what is it? What is this, Phil? We all of us detractors gave you so many benefits of the doubts over the years, so many goddamn times, and you keep proving us right time and time again. I don't want to hear this bullshit. But I've said it before. I know a few other people have said it before. I think he would be more successful if he stopped this act of like pretending to have changed and everything and just be like the hateful asshole that he is. If he just like if he just becomes honest with himself, he could go over to Cozy TV, join Nick Fuentes and Ethan Ralph, and just be like an Alex Jones level moron over there. He could keep playing games, his dents would follow, and he could stop pretending to be something he isn't. And he would probably be more successful as just being some hateful asshole on Cozy TV. So he could still play games or whatever, even though he obviously doesn't like playing games. But I think he would be more successful doing that than pretending to be something he fucking isn't.
Now, thinking,
Oh my god, I'm starting to get emotional.
All right, I'm just gonna fuck this. I'm gonna do it. All right, I'm
gonna do it, guys.
A few things that
oh my god, this is so pitiful.
Okay, so it doesn't really put anyone under.
I used to give him some of the benefits of the doubt when I was first watching, like when I first.
Over the years, I've been involved with medical issues.
Started watching him.
My wife's, all right, and it's not stuff I should talk about with my audience. I don't want my
audience. No, not anymore. Not after all the shit we've seen. He doesn't deserve it.
Or something going on. That's no one's business.
And we've seen how nasty of a person he really is.
I said to my
and how he treats other people.
If you're going to come to a DSP Gaming or a DSP React stream,
his voice is all raspy, like,
okay? Don't come support me because you want to stick it to the haters. I don't want that pity party. Keep that.
You motherfucker. How many? Yes, he keeps. Oh yeah, you guys can't see the chat. Sorry. How many fucking times during that whole vest streak bullshit, he's like, this vest is a symbol of us sticking it to the haters? Like, he was fucking manipulating people, his fans, all the goddamn time about, like, how I keep going is me keeping making content is sticking it to the haters, and you guys, I survive on your guys' donation, so you guys should tip me to stick it to the haters. He's done that all the goddamn time. Shut the fuck up.
Support me for my content. If I tell you stuff that's going on,
and no one believes it. Everyone can see right through you. Look at Craig's face right now.
Expenses.
And look at Adam. He doesn't believe any of this shit.
I have some medical conditions,
and rightly so. No one should.
Then this is your forum. Like, this is your forum, Phil. Right? If there's some sort of like medical condition that is causing you to live, paycheck.
Is there a medical condition that makes you like begging
you pride yourself on transparency? I can't think of anything more transparent than just telling your audience you have something going on. And like, you know what? People are people, and they'll understand that. Like, if God willing, I came out.
I am kind of team health though, by the way. I don't think they're getting a divorce anytime soon because it's not a real relationship. It's a marriage of convenience. So they're not gonna get divorced.
And I had cancer or something bad happened.
It's not that. It's definitely not that. Okay, I don't want to make anyone think that I'm trying to. Again, this is not a pity party here.
Right.
Yes, it is. That's what you were trying to do.
Chronic lingering things that come back over the years, and then yes, there's a medical cost. There's deductible, of course. You have to pay to a certain amount. In a nutshell, I've been involved with a few legal things, and I've been involved with some medical things, okay? And essentially what's happened over the years is I can't really pay them because of the financial situations that I've been in, okay? And
did you pay any of those things as business expenses?
I believe, and I don't know if this is true or not. Isn't it true that certain, like your health insurance?
He's like, I don't get it. This kind of manipulation worked great on my dents. Why is it not working great on these normal people? I get asked this
by my tax guy. I do. He says,
your tax guy was asking you this?
He said, I just got an email the other day that said, we need your breakdown of what you pay for premiums, if you had any medical expenses, if you had any of this. We need all this to file your taxes properly.
That doesn't sound right, dude.
I don't know. Again, no, listen, please. Now, here's the problem. I don't want people going over my tax guy. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. He's a professional.
But he clearly doesn't, because you've been in tax issues.
Well, he doesn't explain the fact that he had two different tax guys. And that the one tax guy that supposedly fucked things up for him, was back in Connecticut. And now he has this current different tax guy that's here in Washington. He doesn't explain that to them.
No. My tax issues are not, or from before this shit. They really are.
He doesn't explain that.
Old account. You might be getting the stories mixed.
He is. Yeah, he definitely has something wrong with his health, though. 100%.
Okay. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. This guy is great, and I want people to understand that. Okay. But basically, I have a few ongoing things. When you don't have credit anymore, okay? But you still owe. Some things can get erased, some things can't, all right, by a bankruptcy or whatever. And I'm in a situation where I have ongoing costs that I'm on payment plans for, okay? Not, oh, credit card. I can't get a credit card. I have no credit. My credit sucks because I have bankruptcy. No, I have payment plans. So, for example, I incur a legal cost of several $1,000s. Okay, Phil, you don't have to pay that today. You could pay it slowly over time. Here's your payment plan, right? With the IRS, I owe them back taxes. Phil, we understand. As long as you're in repayment status, you're paying this amount every month. This is, you know what I mean? So that's where my money goes. I'm embroiled in all these ongoing things behind the scenes that absolutely no one needs to know about. Medical stuff, legal stuff that I'm going through, and tax stuff. And where does your money go? And then just think about this. I'm streaming 6 days a week full time. I'm stressed some days, you know? And then I got to come on my stream and hear, you blew all your money on mobile games. My wife and me are
My wife. So talk about my wife.
Going on. And,
she's downstairs crying right now.
Honeymoon, when we got married, we haven't been on a trip since 2019.
That's your fault, Phil. Fill up. Your mom wanted to send you and Kat on a honeymoon right after you got married. And you're like, no, we can't do that. I have these taxes I gotta pay. And you use that money supposedly to pay some of your taxes off instead of going on the honeymoon that your mom wanted to send you on. So don't give me that shit. You had the opportunity right then and there to go on a honeymoon. And yeah, sure, he had some taxes, but he already had the payment plan set up anyway. That payment plan was set up. So you could have gone and taken that damn honeymoon that Kat deserved, you know. I mean, it is a marriage, even though it's a marriage of convenience, it's still a marriage, and I'm sure she probably would have enjoyed doing that. But you're like, no, we don't need to go on a honeymoon. This isn't a real marriage. I'm going to use this for my taxes instead. What a piece of shit.
We understand, which is why, you know, we talked about therapy. We've talked about all these things. We understand, right? We've talked about all these things. But you still haven't answered the question. I'm going to ask you this really directly, okay? On a month-to-month basis, how much money are you spending on WWE mobile games and or any other mobile games on a month-to-month basis? Are you spending on iTunes or any sort of mobile device?
Okay.
Just a straight dollar amount. Whatever it is, it's okay.
Okay. This month, I have spent probably $10 to $15. That is an honest answer. And by the way, it wasn't on WWE Champions.
Okay. What was it on? Just curious.
Well, here we go, because you know, if I tell you,
oh my god,
blow it up, they're gonna
no, okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, he gave up. He's like, whatever, fuck it.
It's a new game. It's a Street Fighter game.
Ah, okay, the new Street Fighter one. Got it.
Yeah.
See?
Okay.
Is it good?
It's all right. It's one of those, you build a team of fighters, they fight against each other. It's not, you don't even actively play.
Yeah, I am kind of curious what Kat looks like now, to be honest.
Similar, yes.
I mean,
that was just for experimental purposes.
I mean, like, if she's fat, she's fat. I'm fat. I'm going to be the first to admit it. I'm a bigger person, you know? So it's like, it's not that big a deal if she's just fat. Like, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he's lucky to get... He doesn't even... Honestly, even with, like, suppose she really is, like, super fat, right? Even then, she deserves better than Phil. Okay? No one deserves to be living with this Pigroach. And I don't care if you're fat or ugly or whatever, you still deserve better than him. So, like, I'm not saying she's innocent, because she knew what she was getting into. But at the same time, it's like, no one should have to suffer living with that thing. That is Phil.
I'm not playing it a lot. I'm playing every once in a while. You know, I'll spend $1 and get a bunch of stuff, you know? So I spend a couple dollars here or there. And of course, I will get destroyed for saying that I spent $15 on it, you know? I will. I'm going to get destroyed for it.
So... Let me kind of move this along. We've been going for a long time, and thank you again, Phil, for your time. Appreciate it. We're approaching 4 hours. I got a few things that I want to make sure we hit on before we go, before we can move forward. So, number one, Keem is here, and Keem has said that he will be respectful, and he would love to talk. I think this is a tremendous opportunity to bury whatever hatchet or whatever it is you guys have and
Oh
mend
no,
the
she
fence.
definitely
I
did
think
gain
this is a
weight.
tremendous
though.
opportunity.
I
Are
mean,
you
that
open to
is her in the
If you want him on the
pictures.
show to talk, I'm not doing business with this man under any circumstances.
Yeah, you established that. That's fine. That's not what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm not trying to broker a business deal or anything like that. But are you open to talking with him now?
I'm curious what he even wants to talk about. I'm not
The
being
fact
on
that
his
you were
stuff.
lying?
I refuse. So.
Well, I'm going to bring him on. Right?
Wait. So you're okay with him coming on to talk?
As long as he's not going to sit here and insult me or do, you guys have already asked me so many questions. I don't want him interrogating me too. It's your show, not his.
That's not.
Right.
I mean, Keem, he's watching obviously, so it's like that's not the case. We're the interviewers. He just said he agrees.
Yeah, he agrees. So look, we're going to bring him on, and like I said, I think this is not a tremendous opportunity for friction. This is an opportunity to build a bridge. So let's do this real quick. Keemstar, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. And Phil, thank you for letting me on to talk to you directly. I do mean what I'm.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, Kat knew what she was getting into in the first place, and she has a roof over her head. She is provided with food and stuff, a lot of food, but food and everything like that. So, like, she probably has it pretty good. She probably knows that it's, like, better than living on the streets, but at the same time, she doesn't have a whole lot of options. Like, whereas, like, Leanna was, like, had friends at work, and I think one of her friends actually offered for her to actually live with her for a little while until she got on her feet, and she did that and met a guy and, like, all this stuff, which, like, whereas Kat's kind of, like, plus she married him, so it's a little bit harder to separate from the Pigroach when you're married, so, like, that's going to be a whole thing, although she could probably, like, in the divorce, she might, like, try to settle. Like, if she does divorce him, she could probably try to settle and get half of his money. I mean,
what I said here in the chat, that I will be respectful. I'm not here to interrogate you, but I desperately want to represent my point of view in this situation between me and you. Because what I've heard listening to this podcast or this interview or whatever you want to call it is you describing problems that you have in your life, paying bills, being harassed by your detractors or whatever, and I actively went out of my way to solve major problems in your life, and me and you are not friends. In fact, before I put together this business opportunity for you, me and you were fighting back and forth. It started with you on your podcast out of nowhere reacting to me retiring when I turned 40, and you said, well, that guy's evil, and all these.
And I want you to, did you hear that? He was turning 40 like a year or two ago. So these two are about the same age right now. Look at that. Look, you got, like, normal looking 40-year-old guy here, and then you got, like, 60-year-old fucking crack addict drunken asshole over here. Like, how much of a bigger difference?
Horrible stuff and blood money, whatever you said about me, because you don't like my show Drama Alert. And many of your detractors picked up on right away that the reason why you don't like my show and you don't support me is because we covered the fapping situation in 2016.
Well, that's
that is
completely untrue. Dude, you covered it fairly.
Go ahead, respond, Phil.
You covered it fairly. You didn't even really harp on it. One of your guys contacted me behind the scenes, said, do you have anything else to add? Do you want to be on the show? I was like, no. You covered it fairly. I don't think you were unfair at all. That's not the case.
No.
Thank you, because I don't think I was
not
unfair
like this
either,
whole time.
No,
whole time when Keemstar's on, he kisses Keemstar's ass like crazy, and then after the interview's over, he goes on his own stream again and, like, why was Keemstar on? Keemstar shouldn't have been on at all. He's an asshole. Like, talking so much shit about Keemstar, like crazy.
That's bullshit.
And he was so butthurt that Stutter and Craig and Adam like Keemstar.
Why you had
He's
such
like, why do they even like him?
Hateful, response to me retiring was because of that. Because we have no previous history, Phil.
Correct.
I've never talked to you. The only interactions I've ever had with you is just covering this one story about you.
Mm-hmm.
and just, this is a great example of why I wanted to bring you on, because there's clearly a miscommunication somewhere along the lines, right? Clearly. So,
and also shout out East Coast, shout out New York, because we have three. So I live in Western New York. I know King Sly lives in Western New York, and Keemstar lives in Buffalo, I think. So yeah, so that's pretty
Phil
cool.
thought
We have all
Keemstar did
these.
this. Keemstar thought Phil did this.
Well, I mean, I'm not including myself in that because I'm just nobody. But
we're in a better-
we
we're in
have
a better
two pretty
place,
cool
which is great.
streamers on there.
So to move on from that,
Even though fuck Keemstar also, because I'm not the
I
biggest
see
fan
a
of
clip,
Keemstar either.
and it's on
Yeah.
Phil's stream. He's reacting to my retirement,
New York
and he's
story
saying
is
I'm
that.
this horrible, evil person.
Even though I want to get out of here and move.
Me. And I responded.
Hold on, Keem, is that true, Phil?
I don't know. I'm sure I criticized him. I don't know specifically what he's talking about yet.
Okay, continue.
I don't know exactly what was said. I'm going off of memory, but it was something along those lines. The clip gets sent to me by multiple people.
Okay.
So I respond to Phil because the only thing I know about Phil is him
Oh,
being
shit,
a
really?
lolcow, right? Him on stream begging for money to pay rent and stuff like that. That's all I know about him. So I responded to him on Twitter, which I thought was
Because
pretty
it's not
clever,
much out here.
in gaming terms.
Just a lot of
and I
fields, a
explained
lot
to him
of
that like we are roughly the same age.
cow
We've been doing
farms and,
YouTube for like 15 years each. We started at the
racist
same time.
hillbillies. So you gotta love
And
it.
I'm retiring now, and I don't ever have to work again. So I have completed this video game of YouTube.
And you're
I
still
said
on
to
mission
Phil,
1.
You're still on level 1. All right. You're still on level 1 and you're restarting, level 1 over and over again like a video game, and you're getting nowhere. You're still at the point where you're begging people on stream to pay your bills and whatnot. And I thought that was a good response, right? Even though I am talking trash and, we got a little drama going on for Twitter and whatnot, I thought that I was actually giving you good advice. And,
yeah, I was gonna say that
is that advice, or is that more like, because in text
felt like
form,
a backhanded smack
right.
with internet Twitter battles,
100%,
Okay.
but it's also advice, right? My point in those Twitter videos was that Phil needs to do something different. Imagine you're playing a video game, you're on level 1 and you try the same technique over and over again. All right. And you're dying and you have to restart the level over. Like, you're never going to beat level 1. And that's the situation that Phil has been in.
Right. And Phil, what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like there's any truth to that, or do you feel like that Keemstar is out of his way to kind of make you look a fool?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I got the wrong window open. But yeah, Bo, exactly. They're extremely right wing leaning, and it's pretty obvious. And they talk about politics quite often for being a gaming channel or podcast, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm like, I know in some instances, it's like, yeah, you can't avoid it, but sometimes you can, and that's why. And I don't like Review Tech USA either. I'm not the biggest fan of him either. But he was right when he called Travis token gay guy, because he is. You got the token white girl is Blabs, who never fucking says anything because she's a damn NPC. Then you got Travis, who's the token gay guy, who doesn't even defend his own goddamn community when they have a host on who's being openly homophobic. Not joking, she was being homophobic. So yeah, no, and they laughed it off and like it was nothing. Because they're right wingers, and it's just bullshit.
Well, first of all, the best way to give life advice is to, say it in an insulting way, for sure. I mean, that's makes everyone very receptive to it, correct?
Right.
Sure
Well,
do a nice
fair point, but
slap at
let him finish, Game,
on Twitter. Is there some truth to it? Yes. Okay, but here's the thing: if you have a criticism,
oh no, because he would be a shill if he did that.
Fairly,
he actually tried to get ads on his videos or something, which he can. Because I guarantee you he could go right now and get that, what was it? Oh shit, I can't remember the name of it. That one stupid mobile game that everyone has. Like, I keep wanting to say Champions, that's not it, obviously. Although he could probably play WWE Champions on stream and probably end up getting sponsored by Stoke Scopely. You could probably do that, but Raid Shadow Legends. He could get, like, I guarantee you, he could get sponsored for Raid Shadow Legends right fucking now.
You just go to your platform and you say something nasty about me on there. I'm a tiny little guy, okay? When I say something on my stream, who hears it? A couple hundred people? Yes, my detractors then.
Yeah, I'm only going over the side scrollers interview because I never actually went through went over it before. So I wanted to cover this.
You're huge. You have a
I wanted to cover the actual original interview, but I'm not going over any more of their shit. And I think it's kind of stupid that people are still giving side scrollers money even now. It's kind of crazy. They are trying to milk it.
Now I have to live with that shit. For months on end, I get, you're on level 1. Ha ha ha, Phil, level 1. Yo, you've been for 15 years. You're just on level 1. Do you think I need that? I already have enough shit in my life.
Oh, he's so complaining.
I don't need Mr. Big Time punching down on me, which is what you do. That's why people don't like you, man.
I didn't see it.
Oh, yes, all the people don't like him, but he doesn't realize that all the people like hate
all kinds of shit on me.
You do realize more people hate you than hate him.
And I just responded, talking shit back, but also giving you advice. That's the way I saw it. Anyhow, after that incident took place, months went by, and
I agree, he should do that
because I saw the solution the entire time that Phil needed to do something.
Probably get kicked off for being their sponsorship.
I am a person that recognizes entertainment. I really, really get it. You got to understand, Phil. You have haters, you have detractors, so do I. But I have more. I have more than Wings of Redemption, DSP, and Boogie combined.
Yeah, I mean, like,
more haters,
I don't like side scrollers, but they did do a decent job with the actual original interview. They made him look really bad.
I was supposed to retire a year ago, and I'm still doing new stuff.
Mostly Phil's fault,
being
to be honest,
successful on this platform. Because I understand this business very, very well. And even though you have that hate, you know, they are viewers. They are your customers. The detractors are your customers. The haters are your customers. And they're more loyal than the people that give you money, that donate on your stream. The people that hate you are way more
you're talking
loyal.
about. That's like, you can't pay for that shit.
I mean, look at how many people are here. 2,500 people are here. It's just, it's you have a legitimate fan base. Those haters, those people that don't like you, are your fans. And I wanted to solve this issue for not just you, but Wings and Boogie. I looked at all of you guys, you're lolcows, right? You have more haters than like supporters, right? But really, they're all fans. They are all fans. They're all obsessed with you and watching your content nonstop. The solution really is to get the three of you to do a podcast, all right? Those haters are going to watch. They're going to absolutely love that these three guys have come together to make content. Now, between the three of you, you guys don't have the business sense to like really figure this out.
All right, I'm going to pause it here. We got about an hour left. So I'll probably do one more stream to finish this one out because I do want to fully complete this interview here. But I'm starving. I need to get something to eat. So I do apologize for ending it. I wasn't able to get through the whole thing. But next time we will. And I have some more videos, not streams, but videos coming up as well. So I do want to thank everyone who actually did show up. I actually did get viewers this time, so that's always a good thing. And thank everyone in the chat. And yeah, so thank you guys very much. And I'll see you guys later.